Big up, guys. Big up, guys. Welcome to the stream. Again, a little bit delayed, and I apologise for that. Obviously, still issues with the Wi-Fi. Yet again, but I'm here now, and obviously wanted to do this stream because obviously of the news that came out. In fact, last night we have our first Premiership casualty manager in Nuno Espirito Santo. Has been sacked, of course, and left was sacked yesterday. I think it was around 11 odd last night. Very late news, but I think it was coming. You could say. So I'm just going to bring this article up, and I've got my guest on as well. I'll bring him on very soon. Well, he was here. I don't know where he is now, but anyway, hopefully he'll be back. So yeah, I'll bring this on, put this article on, and if it comes up, yeah, I think it's coming up. Right. Yeah. That's definitely not Nuno. I don't know how I can get rid of that. Trying to. Anyway, Nuno Espirito Santo sacked by Nottingham Forest. Nuno dramatically left the club after a breakdown of his relationship with Evangelos Marinakis. Yeah. Right, try and get rid of this fucking advert. Doing me head in now. This fucking advert, never mind. Carry on. Nuno Espirito Santo has been sacked by Nottingham Forest just 3 games into the new Premier League season after a dramatic breakdown in his relationship with club owner Evangelos Marinakis. Nuno guided Forest back into Europe for the first time in 30 years last season, having taken the club from the brink of relegation to a 7th place finish in the Premier League. But Nuno expressed concern ahead of the new campaign and frustration at the club's transfer activity over the summer, and admitted that his relationship with owner Marinakis had collapsed in an explosive press conference on 22nd of August. Nuno, who signed a new three-year contract in June, revealed his relationship with Marinakis had changed and they were not as close, especially since the arrival of new head of football Edu Gaspar, the former director of Arsenal. Yeah. He also said, when there's smoke, there's fire, regarding reports of his exit, which has now been confirmed by the club. Nuno remained in charge for the 1-1 draw at Crystal Palace and the 3-0 home defeat to West Ham before the international break, with Nuno departing ahead of Forest's trip to Arsenal on Saturday. Forest said in a statement, Nottingham Forest Football Club confirms that following recent circumstances, Nuno Espirito Santo has today been relieved of his duties as head coach. The club thanks Nuno for his contribution during a very successful era at the City Ground, in particular his role in the 24-25 season, which will forever be remembered fondly in the history of the club. As someone who played a pivotal role in our success last season, he will always hold a special place in our journey. The Portuguese manager was well liked in the Forest dressing room, with midfielder Elliot Anderson stating he was hopeful that Nuno would still be at Forest upon his return from international duty with England. Nuno previously expressed that he had no regrets over speaking out against his bosses. I said it and I don't regret it, Nuno said. For me, it's important that everyone at the club shares the same vision and same commitment. I had to speak to the owner. Nuno and Marinakis have previously shared the headlines, with a Greek billionaire marching onto the pitch following a close season game with Leicester to animatedly remonstrate with his manager. It later transpired that this exchange was about how Taiwo Awoniyi's serious abdominal injury was treated by those involved, with Forest at the time dismissing talk of a confrontation as fake news. Marinakis is said to already be lining up a replacement. Well, we know it's already the replacement is already there with Big Ange, Postecoglou, and Jose Mourinho both heavily linked with the role. But of course, it's Big Ange that's got the job. Postecoglou was sacked from his Tottenham post just 16 days after guiding the club to the Europa League last term. A triumph that didn't absolve the Aussie of the dire domestic campaign Spurs had endured, while ex-Chelsea, Manchester United and Real Madrid manager Mourinho parted company with Fenerbahce at the end of August. Yeah, so I think that's about it. It says come on, I hope. It has come on. Yeah, of course it came on. Just making sure. It's a bit slow again, this Wi-Fi. It's going a bit funny. Yeah, again. But yeah. And of course the big news is, of course, as we know, they've appointed Ange Postecoglou as the new manager. Nottingham Forest appoint Ange Postecoglou as new manager hours after sacking Nuno Espirito Santo. The former Spurs boss joins the Premier League hours after Nuno Espirito Santo was sacked just 3 games into the new campaign. Nottingham Forest have appointed former Tottenham Hotspur boss Ange Postecoglou as their new manager. Comes hours after the Premier League club sacked Nuno Espirito Santo just 3 games into the new season. Postecoglou, 60, was sacked by Spurs after winning the Europa League in May, ending the North London side's 17-year wait for a trophy. In a statement, Forest owner Evangelos Marinakis said, "We are bringing a coach to the club who has a proven and consistent record of winning trophies. His experience of coaching teams at the highest level, along with his desire to build something special with us at Forest, makes him a fantastic person to help us on our journey and achieve consistently all our ambitions." After gaining promotion to the Premier League, when then building consistently season after season to secure European football, we now must take the right step to compete with the very best and challenge for trophies. Ange has the credentials and the track record to do this, and we are excited he is joining us on our ambitious journey. Santo, 51, left his role late on Monday. His last game was a 3-0 loss to the West Ham side, who went into the game off the back of 2 heavy defeats in their opening 2 games. The Portuguese manager surpassed all expectations with a 7th place finish in last season's campaign. However, his relationship with Forest's owner became strained towards the end of his tenure. Santo had criticised the club's transfer activity in the summer and openly said the relationship had suffered. He said at the time, "I always had a very good relationship with the owner. Last season we were very close and spoke on a daily basis. This season it is not so well. Our relationship has changed and we are not as close. Everybody at the club should be together, but this is not the reality." It also came after Forest's owner appeared to confront Santo on the pitch following a 2-2 draw at home to Leicester City last season. Forest later denied it was a confrontation and said the owner was simply frustrated that striker Taiwo Awoniyi had continued to play following an injury. Postecoglou's first game in charge will be away to Arsenal on this Saturday, the 13th of September. That's a biggie, a real biggie to start with. Yeah. And time to bring on my guest. And he's there patiently waiting. And we'll bring him on now. And Manny, before I bring you on, I'd like to say I think it's this was always coming, especially as if you're going to poke the bear. As we know, the big grizzly bear will attack. He's done so last season on the pitch with Nuno. And it looks like it was the ending of him, really, when he spoke out, of course, in the press conferences, although both were saying everything was fine at one stage. So really, are both at fault? Was this a real shock, a big surprise, or was it always going to happen? Did we think it was just a matter of when? And what do you think of the whole thing? Be up to you, sir.
Big up to you as well, Mr. B, or should I say, g'day to you, good sir. And I had to sort of swipe that in. It's up for people to decide whether that was, more of the Melbourne dialect because Ange is from Melbourne, or whether if that was more Sydney side sort of thing.
You not entertained? Yeah. We'd say it more second season, mate.
I mean, one of my best friends, of course, is one of Warren's best friends too is a chap called Steve O, the Aussie Gooner.
Oh, yeah.
And he's actually from Western Sydney, a big Arsenal fan, of course. He also knows Ange well from his time managing the Socceroos, and Ange was, of course, champion of the Asian Cup champion with the Socceroos in his second season as well, just continuing that wonderful trend that he had. And I have to say quite simply that this is something that does really warm my heart in many ways, especially since it's an opportunity for those people at Tottenham to have their helping of humble pie. Obviously, we've got Kev in the chat. Big up to you, Kev, saying Nuno has been treated very unfairly, getting Forest into Europe and then sacked, but nothing surprises me. Well, you could say the same thing about Ange too. I mean, he got them into the Champions League by winning the Europa League, but then Daniel Levy sacked him. Yeah. The big difference is that while Levy wasn't really willing to back Postecoglou that much, Ange will be going into a club where, along with his fellow Greek, I'm sure he'll work quite well. And Steve, I do remember you sharing a photograph with me on WhatsApp of the two of them together at an awards ceremony that actually was to promote the Greek Super League. And then Marinakis gave Ange an award for being the first Greek manager to actually win the Europa League. And, of course, Ange is Greek.
All Greek to me, mate. All Greek to me, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, Ange is, of course, Greek, born and raised. He emigrated to Australia, but still is proud of the Greek side of him and still speaks some very fluent Greek. So he wouldn't be out of place in either managing in Greece or even with the Greece national team. But I think he's, obviously made it clear that he's happy to continue managing in England with his children settled there. And so it was only a matter of time before he got an opportunity again. And a lot of Spurs fans were, just sneering, basically saying, take a look at how he is. If he's such a good manager for winning the Europa League, why hasn't any team, hired him? The simple truth that he's not good enough and all of that rubbish. Well, now he's gone to join a Premiership rival. And obviously there's no love lost between Spurs and Forest fans due to the Morgan Gibbs-White incident, which you will remember. I'm not sure that I don't think it was an outburst necessarily. One reason why you probably can't understand it, Warren, is because I'm speaking without the headphone and microphones. It's just the normal speaker. But I don't think there was an outburst in anything. And but here's the thing. The reason why, I'm talking about the backing here is because obviously Marinakis and Postecoglou do have a warm relationship. And Levy never gave Ange the backing that he deserved while he was at Tottenham either, it has to be said. Oh. So obviously Ange is coming into a team which had developed a penchant, of course, for being a lot more of a defensive, counter-attacking team under Santo. And now he's got to try and prove that he can, bring out the sort of impress his philosophy on them. But, he has also been shown that he can adapt and change his tactics and become a little bit more, conservative. He can also definitely sit back and shut up shop when the need arises. And, the Europa League campaign, which proved to be so successful, was proof of that. Of course, he was obliged to play defensively in the final because he was without, James Maddison and Dejan Kulusevski and several of his other more attacking players. But he was able to shut up shop after Spurs got the goal, and they went on to win. And so he has a lot of clear ideas of what he wants from his team. And many people who will defend him have made it crystal clear that his style of play is a lot better suited to producing an attacking style, but also having players think a lot more on their feet. And Warren will probably know, as a Celtic fan, that when Postecoglou came in to replace Neil Lennon, he really brought about a refreshing change and was probably unlucky not to win 2 consecutive domestic trebles. And there were most Spurs fans who were sad to see Ange go. But if you take a look at Twitter, Warren, I mean, there's a reason why people say that certain people put the twit in Twitter. A large number of Spurs fans have made it crystal clear that they were happy to see the bloke go. And we've had several people in the YouTube community basically hail that decision, saying he was a useless git who couldn't manage his way out of a brown paper bag. And now, in Mr. B's very own Thomas Frank, they've got a proper manager. But interestingly enough, and I'm sorry to have to say this, Steve, Frank's record against Ange in the Premier League is played 4, drawn 1, lost 3. And you did have some stronger teams back then, I might add. So I'd caution those Ange outers, be very careful. Do not underestimate your former manager, because hell hath no fury like an ex-manager scorned. Now, am I saying that Postecoglou's, a perfect managerial paragon or a blueprint of how to go about your job? No, far from it. He has his faults, and there were at least a few games last season where he was culpable. I'm reminded of the Brighton game at the Amex Stadium where, they were 2-0 up and should have finished off the game, but then, Brighton were allowed to come back into it and ended up winning 3-2. And I've pitied my good friend Eugene from Spurs U Asian TV. Did a watch along.
By the way, I'm glad. I hope Eugene's happier now with Levy gone. I'm sure he is.
Absolutely. Obviously, the Enoch group is still there, so Eugene is Levy out and Enoch out. And it is interesting that Warren said that Edu might have had something to do with this. Obviously, if you take a look at, that was the comment that Warren made. And obviously, I think it's fair to say that when Nuno joined Nottingham Forest, maybe he and Nuno didn't quite get along, and maybe they had some different visions here. Edu, of course, has been criticised for his ridiculous dealings at Arsenal, and certainly we have no love lost for him. And I'm happy that Warren has said that. Twitter and YouTube fans are not a good indication of the perspective of certain fans, and most real fans wouldn't touch those platforms with a barge pole. That is, of course, very true. But as we all know, it's always the minorities that tend to shout the loudest, and whoever steps up to the microphone or has a platform gets to have their say. And they're the ones who end up dictating public opinion, as it were. And I'm sure that if we had a lot more of the real Spurs fans coming to defend their former manager, we'd get a much better picture. And of course, Warren is pretty much true there. Hopefully he can agree with me that he has that Ange deserves nothing but respect for the work he did at Celtic and Spurs, and maybe it should work out at Nottingham Forest. But I think for it to work, the players are going to have to sort of buy into what he's trying to do, but he's also going to have to change his approach in a way and show that he's more capable of being a lot more flexible. And I would also go so far to say that if he is willing to show that he is capable of adapting, I think he will gain the respect and the trust of the players. I'll be very interested to see, mind you, how well he gets on with his fellow Antibody and Chris Wood. I know that Wood's a New Zealander and Ange is an Aussie, but, they do bond if they're from that neck of the woods,
Yeah. Yes, they do. But well, what do you think of all this, though? I mean, because it looked like he may have been coming. We know last season, last year, whatever, they had that confrontation on the pitch. Nuno and Marinakis. And we know if you poke this grizzly bear, he's going to attack quickly. And he shouldn't have done it, really. I think Nuno knew what he was doing, though. Do you agree with that? I think he knew that he wanted to get out. I think he knew this was it.
It could be the way, because look, obviously last season, when you take a look at how Forest were doing, they beat Liverpool at Anfield, and a lot of people were talking about how they would be perfect candidates to secure Champions League football. But there were some other voices who were saying that the relative lack of experience in that squad would mean that they would sort of fall away near the end. And as it turned out, quite sadly, they ended up doing so. Obviously, there were some signs, losing 5-0 to Bournemouth at Dean Court, but then they followed it up with a 7-0 thrashing of Brighton and Hove Albion. And everyone thought, all is well. All was well. But then, obviously, it's like, you get so close to realizing an amazing dream, and then suddenly it falls away. And obviously, the Awoniyi issue, we were told not to really look too much into that. And I'm not a Forest supporter, so I can't really, offer my real perspective on that. If it is true that they were really concerned about the welfare of Awoniyi, the owner was concerned about the welfare of his player, then, you can't really criticize him for that. It didn't look good, taking that confrontation out onto the pitch and doing it in such a public way in view of all the fans. But, it was a serious issue. And it kind of reminds me in a way of interesting stuff there. Spent time in Auckland, remembering fights breaking out all the time between the Aussies and Kiwis over the rugby in the hostel in the hostel that you lived in. Wonderful story. And you've definitely got stories to tell. I love that you mentioned that. And of course, in cricket, obviously, ever since that ridiculous underarm incident with Greg and Trevor Chappell, the Kiwis have, all have never really had much love lost between them. But I'd like to think that,
I think the relations between them have got slightly better now with the Aussies.
I'd like to think so too, obviously. And one of New Zealand's best coaches in cricket was an Aussie named Steve Rickson, who really changed the culture of that team. And that's something that Ange tried to do at Tottenham. Very nearly successful, but Levy didn't back him. Maybe he could do the same at Forest. But back to Nuno, it was a surprise, I thought, that he was hired straight away from the Saudi League. You never hear of players. You seldom, if ever, hear of players or managers being signed to come back to the Premiership or a top league from the Saudi League. It's normally where careers go to die, you would think. But he did a good job repairing the mess that was there under Steve Cooper and keeping them afloat. And then he did so well. But with the slump and, of course, with the Awoniyi issue, it reminded me a great deal of Jose Mourinho's last stint at Chelsea, where obviously there was an issue with a player being injured, and the Chelsea doctor, Dr. Eva Carneiro, saw it fit to, treat the player for a little bit too long. But then Mourinho clearly wasn't happy with that and had a confrontation with his team doctor. And then that was the season from hell, of course, for Chelsea, where, it was Claudio Ranieri, his predecessor, who ended up defeating him in one game and costing him his job. And then at the end of the season, when Leicester were crowned champions, Ranieri had a guard of honor back at Stamford Bridge. But I think Mourinho basically has now become a bit of a busted flush. I can't see any top club or top league wanting to go for him. I think his best days are probably done, one would think. Maybe he should try managing the Portuguese national team after Bobby Martinez quits. But when you have that sort of a confrontation as well, it spills over to the following season. You cannot just air your dirty laundry on a public platform like that and say that the relationship has changed. And segueing back to your question, if it is true that, Nuno probably saw the writing on the wall and decided it was better to leave Nottingham Forest when he could, I think he went about it in a pretty poor way. You ideally want to try to give the impression that you're making an effort to make something work, and then, just do your bit in good faith. And then if it doesn't work, you say, well, it is what it is, and I'm happy to walk away, and at least you'll leave with your dignity intact. Now, the impression that I've been getting from reading the BBC Sport website is that the large majority of Nottingham Forest fans have made it clear that they still love Nuno for the work that he did, how he may help them dream again. Not since Frank Clark back in the early to mid 1990s have Forest looked in a position where they could dream of bigger and better things. But, now, of course, things have suddenly taken this sour turn. And you've got to say that it always takes two to tango. And Marinakis may be a little bit of a loudmouthed git, for want of a nicer word, and he may probably be a little bit too intrusive. But as a manager, you've also got to try and keep your wits around you. It's not easy, I can accept that, because it is a bit of a pressure cooker situation. And, you can understand the frustration that Ange felt when Daniel Levy was peering over his shoulder. And there's a part of me that thinks that the Europa League win ended up really, making Ange a superstar in the eyes of the majority of Spurs fans. And Levy just wasn't really able to stomach that. And he wasn't really willing to acquiesce to Ange's demands / requests that we overhaul, that we add more to the squad, make it a lot more experienced. And I think maybe in the power struggle, I think Levy probably thought it was best to let him go. But now that Levy himself has walked the plank, you've got to say that Ange has been vindicated. And so I'm really happy for how things turned out for Ange personally. As far as Nuno, I think his best bet would be to... he did get Forest relegated, of course, Warren. I do remember that. But at one point, he also had them, second or third in the Premiership, and they were playing some very good football. I believe it was the season after that Clark got them relegated. And, of course, they were relegated in Brian Clough's last ever season as a manager, and that was an ignominious end to a magnificent career, it has to be said. But I do seem to remember that they were playing some great football under Frank Clark at the time. But obviously, things took a downturn, and that's the way, things went if things couldn't be sustained. And of course, speaking of sustained, there's always going to be talk about how, if certain clubs like Nottingham Forest and Aston Villa, who are being, affected, as it were, by the issue of PSR, whether or not they can sustain any kind of consistent runs for Europe, campaigns for European football, campaigns for more trophies, if they can sustain that model. And I think that's it's going to be interesting to see how well certain clubs like them end up doing. I mean, Aston Villa have ensured European football in the 3 years that Emery has been with them, the 2.5 years. And clearly Marinakis is now eager to try to take Forest a little bit further. I agree in many ways that maybe Marinakis has been a little bit heavy-handed, but it has to be said that Nuno has not done himself any favors. And I think, there will be a part of me that thinks that Nuno could have definitely handled things a lot better and given himself a little bit more credibility. In this case, he's now just one of the two who have done their lethal tango, as it were.
Yeah. Steve, by the way, thinks Ange is one-dimensional and a clown. I'm not sure I do really think that, Warren, but I think he's I think he's a very good manager. I mean, he's going to be attacking more now. What do you think about that? The transition between what they were doing, trying to keep behind the ball and then go on the counter attack. Do you think that'd be an easy one for Forest to go from that to attacking more, Manny?
Well, as I've said, Steve, Ange has shown that he can be more pragmatic and more conservative when he needs to be. Yeah. And, the only thing I would ask him to do is be a little bit patient with what Forest are doing. And then he can try and, really start with everything, because he's coming more or less without having had a pre-season to work with the players, you see. At Spurs, once Conte had been sacked before the end of the season and the other two interim managers also were sent on their merry way, Levy made it very clear that Ange was the guy he wanted. And so Ange had a pre-season to work with them and really, get his message through. Postecoglou should be experienced enough to know that he's not going to have that opportunity now. So he's going to have to be a little bit patient. And yeah, he was talking about the Aussie Goon.
I'm sorry, sorry, mate. I really thought you was on about me there. But no, I mean, no.
I did.
But yeah,
I did tell you about the Aussie Gooner, by the way.
Steve.
He's actually, from Western Sydney. Ange is from Melbourne, and obviously he remembers Ange from his time managing the Socceroos. They did win the Asia Cup and qualify for the World Cup, but at the World Cup they probably didn't do as well as they could. And Steve-O, the Aussie Gooner, wasn't really a big fan of his tactics, it must be said. But back to your question, I think Postecoglou, if Ange can be a little bit more patient with the players and ask them to just, express themselves a little bit more and play how they would prefer to play, and then maybe slowly but surely provide some tweaks to the system, that wouldn't be a bad thing. Let's also not forget that game against Nottingham Forest, it was goalless after 80 odd minutes. And many of us were thinking that was the way it would finish. But then a spectacular collapse, 3 goals conceded within about 5 or 6 minutes, and West Ham went away from Nottingham with the 3 points all the way back to London. And now there's talk about how maybe there's life in the Hammers, and maybe Graham Potter might have a stay of execution. Yeah. And ironically, the talk has been rife about how maybe, if Potter gets sacked, Santo can go over there and do another job. You've got the merry-go-round working. It's funny how everything works out that way.
Yeah.
So whatever Ange does, he is going to obviously try and improve on that. And it is fair to say that when you consider the slump that Forest had near the end of that season, and how, aside from the beginning of the season, things haven't quite been as good as they would hope it would be. Anything that they do will be an improvement. And of course, they're also going to be in the Europa League, and they're still in both cup competitions, unlike a certain supposed big club who were knocked out of the Carabao Cup by a League Two side. We all know who they are, and I do not want to repeat that, but I can never get tired of mentioning that.
No,
this is going to be a good challenge for Ange, and I think he will love it. And the reason why I mentioned Steve Rickson, the Aussie who ended up coaching New Zealand, he was the guy actually who oversaw a really good transitional period for New Zealand when they were struggling a little bit. Obviously, they had lost Martin Crowe, who succumbed to one injury too many. They had a group of experienced senior stars from back in the day who were coming close to the end of their careers. And he wanted to try to build a new team. He had to deal with one big star named Chris Cairns, who obviously had the talent, but wasn't really, doing it justice. And he took a huge punt on a youngster named Stephen Fleming, who actually had been penalized for smoking marijuana in the West Indies during New Zealand's tour of the West Indies. But Rickson actually did a great deal to change the culture surrounding the team, and also the way the team performed. He obviously came from a culture which was used to winning a lot of things and really dominating a great deal, while New Zealanders were just happy to compete and just try to punch above their weight. But he encouraged
audio's gone there with Manny, but yeah, from what he was saying there, yes, I remember. Oh, sorry, go on. Sorry, mate. I thought you'd gone for a minute. Yeah, go on, carry on.
You've got to be patient. You've got to be patient in the way you go about it, because they're not really used to that. And you've got to be willing to show that you are appreciative of the culture that you're in. And Rickson did that, but he also was able to instill his will on the players. He molded Chris Cairns into becoming a world-class all-rounder and senior player. Yeah. And under him, Fleming blossomed as a captain. And New Zealand went on to enjoy one of the best periods in their history, with a brilliant series win over England in England. That was Nasser Hussain's first series as captain. I remember that. Yeah. And they also, in 1999, won the Champions Trophy, I believe, beating an India side that had beaten Australia and South Africa en route to getting to the final. So that New Zealand team was really doing some good things under that Australian coach. But because that Aussie coach was willing to do what he had to do, he got results. And so Postecoglou is going to have to make sure that he compromises a little bit, be a little bit more patient.
Manny, let's stick to football, mate.
It is a football stream, but I am trying to make some connections here, because we've got 2 Aussie coaches coming into different environments that they're used to and trying to work their way. And that's sort of the way I'm trying to go about it more than anything else. So I know you think that Forest will struggle, Warren, and I would say Ange deserves a second chance. I don't believe that he's going to be the same, bullheaded, tunnel vision sort of person who will have that my way or the highway approach. I'd like to think that he will have, evolved greatly. And as I said, because he doesn't have the advantage of having a preseason, he knows that he can't just, impose his ideas on the players immediately, per se. So he will have to do a little bit of work with them. But I think it could work out very well. And obviously, you've got to. Obviously, you've got that wonderful CV of his where he's won trophies practically everywhere he's managed. And, this is something that could really define his time in England. It can really be something that can, make his critics shut their mouths and eat humble pie, or it can just, go completely belly up for him. But I think Postecoglou will take this seriously. I think Ange definitely has some points to prove and even more to win for Nottingham Forest. And if he's able to, beat Thomas Frank again, continue that hoodoo and make sure he does the double over his former employers, well, that would be the biggest way to stick two fingers up at them. And I'm looking forward to it. I think it promises to be good. And there are a lot of people who will say that it will either, be completely spectacular or it will go belly up. But there's no middle ground in between. But, even if there's an element of truth in that, you've also got to say that, when it does work really well. And there is something true in what Warren says. The owner and Edu are both toxic and couldn't organize a piss up in a brewery, and that is, of course, very, very true. But like I said, the owner made it clear that he wanted Ange in, and he and Ange are pretty good mates, I think. They hold each other in good esteem. And they're hiring a person who, unlike Nuno, knows what it takes to win big trophies, especially now at a continental level, in addition to domestic. So they're going to have a good working relationship, and I'd like to think that things can work for them. We're going to see what happens, obviously, but I am a little bit more of an optimist when it comes to him. And, of course, I'm glad you brought me on because this will segue into the fact that they are coming over to the Emirates early on a Saturday. That's the fabled noon kickoff, of course.
But really, he hasn't got a lot of time, though, has he, Manny, to enforce what he wants on this team? Because he won't have much of a training session with them. I don't know,
exactly.
Maybe 2 days. I don't know if that.
And exactly, and that's why.
Saturday.
Exactly, and that's why I'm not predicting anything other than an Arsenal win because it's still, going to be too soon. He probably will be confirmed. He'll be confirmed. Yeah, he'll be confirmed as the manager by the end of this, by the middle of this week, just in time for the Saturday clash. And being an ex-Tottenham manager, I do believe our fans are going to give him a lot of stick. I think he'll be chomping at the bit to, really prove that he's not a joke. He's definitely no clown. But in as much as Forest might end up performing well, I cannot look beyond an Arsenal win. Because even though, we were absolutely cowardly against Liverpool and our, team lineup proved it, we should have a bit too much for a Forest team that are still, I would say, looking a little bit demoralised. And that shocker of a home defeat against West Ham has, pretty much proved that they are at a bit of a low ebb at the moment. So I think Ange is going to have to really do a lot of work trying to perk up the boys and really win their trust. He's not going to be expected to go completely gung-ho immediately. And you've also got their lineups next. They've got Swansea City in the League Cup, Burnley over at Turf Moor, and Burnley are no mugs. I think their home form could be something that could help them a little bit. A European second coming against Real Betis. I don't know if Pellegrini's still the manager there. That could be an interesting lineup. And then, of course, a trip over to Wearside to no, it's a home game against Sunderland and Granit Xhaka's men. And so, obviously, Arsenal will be a bit of a write-off, I'd like to think. And, we're going to see how it works out. And that is true what Warren is saying, though. I mean, which owner likes opening their wallet? And you've also got to consider that they've already spent about 200 million in this particular transfer window and would have backed Nuno a little bit more. Edu is useless at doing deals. And Ange, obviously, being a Celtic fan, Warren does know a little bit more about the dealings at Celtic. He did walk out as well because of some disagreements with the board. And that's also interestingly why almost all Celtic fans, including a few I've spoken with, have made it clear that they absolutely love Ange Postecoglou. And what Warren has said there, you seldom, if ever, find owners that are willing to really, shell out that much money. And, they're also businessmen who have that instinct of not wanting to, invest a 10 pence coin where it doesn't multiply into a £50 note, if that makes any sense.
I think also though, I think you could be right about the Arsenal game though, man. It will be a tough one and not a great start for him. He could possibly lose that. But I think he would have time after that. He's got the training, of course, Swansea. I know it's Wednesday, but there will be a little bit more time. I think Swansea probably no mugs either, so that could be a tough one. But I think they should come through that and get through, I would say. I think Burnley, as you say, are no mugs, but I still think it'll be an easier one for him. And that's next Saturday. I think they should probably win there. I know it's hard, and I know they beat Sunderland and whatever recently, but I think they probably should win there. Real Betis could be a real shot, toughie as well, because I think they're a decent team, Spanish team, aren't they? So I think a very good team. So that could be a tough one as well. But he's had experience in Europe, and of course he's won Europa League, so he does know a bit about Europe, doesn't he? As well, so he could be okay there. Sunderland will be another tough one because we know the bees know about them being tough. Yeah. So, but it's going to be a tough start for him, really. But I, as you say, the Arsenal one will be the hardest in a way because it's his first game and he ain't got much time with the players, has he, to train? So it's real. You got to hit the ground running. It's like really hammer him at United, and that
absolutely
didn't go well, did it? When he came in?
No, it didn't. It didn't. And I talk about. Warren might be right there though, because with Arsenal, you're not necessarily going to get that free-flowing attacking football if Arteta and his tactics have anything to do with it. And of course, Arsenal have we have our own injury problems. William Saliba's out for 3 weeks to a month. There is talk of, Bukayo Saka also, whether or not he might be rushed back or not. I think Arteta's playing a dangerous game with him. I really would like to see Arteta just, start using his squad a little bit more. So that means bring Christian Mosquera into the attack. I'm glad that Miles Lewis-Skelly will not be playing for England tonight against Serbia. He doesn't belong at left back, so it'll probably be Calafiori who will end up continuing. And, just keep the... just have the double pivot of Rice and Zubimendi. And I really would like to see Eze, start instead of Odegaard, who might probably be exhausted from his, his international exploits with Norway. And then just have Gyökeres up front. And then, of course, how Nottingham Forest will line up, I'm not too sure. I'd like to think it might be a slight change from what Nuno did earlier on. But, we're going to have to see. But as I've said, it's a bit of a free hit, as it were. But he's got some good fixtures coming up. Spanish club, the People's Club of Andalusia, that is wonderful. Is Pellegrini still in the job, Warren? Maybe you might know about it better than I do. And, Newcastle United at St. James's Park, that's going to be another big test, really. And then Chelsea at home against them. He'll have a write-off, a somewhat easier run where he can build momentum, and then he gets a few heavy hitters, and then FC Porto at the City Ground. Ooh, that's going to be really, really tasty. That's really going to be tasty.
Yeah. It gets a lot tougher.
Yeah, quite tough.
Bournemouth. Well, could be tough as well.
I think you'll be supporting Forest against Bournemouth, won't you? Be honest.
Well, I don't know, mate. I don't know. I'm not sure about that one because I hate Forest as well because of what they beat us, didn't they, in that first game? So, not really happy with them either. But but yeah, I don't really care to be honest. Who wins that? But Man United, well, that could we don't know what that be like by then. United, what happened by then. If they're
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm looking forward to seeing how Amorim does. Let's not forget last season, Amorim's record against Postecoglou was played 4, lost 4. And then, of course, a nice trip to Sturm Graz, the birthplace of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I'll be back. Yeah. So you got Sturm. Yeah, that's going to be maybe tough. Leeds though could be slightly easier, depending how they're doing.
Maybe, yes.
On. Liverpool. Well, that's the real tester, isn't it? That's a real tester against Liverpool.
It is. But let's not go too far with them talking about this because, obviously up till November, Chelsea, Liverpool, Newcastle will be pretty tough fixtures. I think Brighton and Hove Albion will probably be a fixture where he will aim to do well and really set the record straight because obviously, Hertzler did a double over him last season. I think that big 4-1 win at the Tottenham Stadium was probably what was the final nail in Ange's coffin. So, like I said, I'm not going to predict very much. I think what Marinakis will probably aim to do, and I will be brief because I'm going to have to, wander off and
there we go, man.
because I've got some errands to run.
Tottenham. There it is.
Yeah, at the City ground, and of course in March he goes back to the stadium and turns up against them. So just briefly before I go, I'm going to say things in summation. I'm as sympathetic as I may be towards Nuno. He didn't do himself any favors. And in the end, he had to go. And thank you for that, Warren. Pellegrini is still Betis manager. So that'll be a very interesting clash, obviously. Pellegrini won the league with Manchester City, I believe. Didn't quite do well at West Ham, but since he went back to Betis, he's pretty much found his niche there. So done quite pretty well, I'd like to think. And, Nuno didn't do himself any favors and he had to go. I'm quite happy with Ange's appointment. I realize that there are reasons that Warren has highlighted for Ange to be a little bit apprehensive about this, and we might be worried about him, whether it'll work. But I'd like to think that Ange will, really do what he has to do to try and get the best out of that partnership. I think he and Marinakis will strike up a friendship, and they will find a way to make it work. And even Edu will also be made to fall into line. I think Ange is a little bit more assertive in that respect. And, oh, yes, Eugene, sell him at the tank, sir. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, guys, testing the mic first. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, can hear you, mate.
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear, yeah.
That's good, right. Yeah, I'm still at work driving, so I'm just finished my shift. So I'm not sure what you guys have talked about. I think I'll give you my opinion on Marinakis on Ange.
Yeah.
I think what Marinakis is doing now is very simple. He's bringing Ange in because Ange has won the Europa League Cup, right? So I think he's trying to try and make Ange win this Europa League Cup coming up, so they'll get a back door into the Champions League, right? But my fear at the moment now is that because Ange was able to maneuver Daniel Levy and get to where he was, but let's see whether he'll be able to maneuver through what Big Mac is, right? Because don't forget, if things turn sour, it's going to be Big Mac versus Big Ange. But I think Ange will, so I think Ange will be smart because he
won't be a happy meal. No.
Yeah, it won't be a happy meal. Yeah, it will be something, I don't know. I don't want to say the words, but I don't know. But the way that Ange was able to maneuver through all the Spurs bullshit and all the tightness and all that, right? I'm not sure. Maybe Big Mac has got a clear objective for Ange. You get what I'm saying? Number one is he wants to be in the Champions League, because that's why I think last season there were times where he wasn't happy with Nuno, whilst they were winning or something. He was saying that we could have sat back and got a draw or a win or something. There were signs of cracks there in the later stages, right? So at this moment in time, all I can say is that will Big Mac, as you can see, the transfer window is over. So Ange has to work with what he has, right? So he can't bring in any new players. So he will be stuck with what he's got, but maybe in the Jan transfer window, maybe things might happen. But we all know that, Jan transfer window is hard to do and all that. But as I foresee this, uh, let's see how it goes. Whether Ange will be able to bring Nottingham Forest to another level, right? Or will Ange actually destroy the Nottingham Forest players? There's only other thing I would like to see is that Ange start adapting. You get what I'm saying? After 2 years, 2 seasons in the Premier League, right? He's gotten to know what the Premier League is. He can't go out there and gung ho every time, right? He must know how to plan his games. You see, and yeah, and this time is a weird thing, right? What I've heard is that Ange is going in with the team that he actually brought to Spurs. You get what I'm saying? So now Ange is doing the things that what the most like all the elite managers do. They go around with the the coaches that are familiar to him and the style of football that he wants to play. So let's see. I don't know. The tools given by Big Mac to Ange. Will he be going for the top 4, top 5, or will he be strategizing how to win the Europa League, right? Because that's the back door into the Champions League, right? And if you look at the quality of the Europa League this season, do you guys think that Nottingham Forest have a chance in the Europa League? That's all I got to say, right? So that's one more thing is that will Ange adapt?
Yeah.
And if he does, and he does turn Nottingham Forest into a top 5 team or squad or club, right? Then a lot of Spurs fans will be feeling a bit, I don't know. Those who wanted him out and all that didn't give him a chance, because I always said that after winning the Europa League, right, he deserved a chance. But all I can say is that Daniel Levy is gone. Yay! It worked.
Yay! Celebration time, mate, isn't it? Yeah, big time.
It worked in the end, right?
You're a happy man.
I know. But guys, you guys, I just want to hear your opinions, right? Do you think Nottingham Forest have a chance into getting into the Champions League through the Europa League?
You go first, Manny.
Yeah, I don't see why they can't, Eugene, because one of the things I was talking about, obviously, with Steve is that, you will also agree that during the Europa League campaign, Ange adopted an approach where he was a little bit more conservative and pragmatic, especially in the latter stages. That performance against Eintracht Frankfurt over 2 legs was, impressive in and of itself. And bear in mind that Frankfurt themselves are a Champions League team. They won the Europa League under Oliver Glasner, who's now at Crystal Palace. And I'm not going to have anyone dismiss Bodo Glimt as a Wi-Fi password, because they beat some very good teams themselves to get to the semi-final stage. And even against Manchester United, obviously you were without Maddison, you were without Kulusevski, Decky as you call him. So the circumstances dictated that he also had to go a little bit ultra pragmatic against United, try and nick a goal if possible, and then completely shut up shop. I think if they had been better in transition, as Ange said that he wanted them to be, but they weren't, who's to say that they probably wouldn't have scored an extra goal? Maybe not with Solanke or Johnson up front, but you just never know. But obviously he was focusing on being a bit more conservative. And Ange always says that sometimes in Europe, you've got to have a little bit more pragmatic and be more defensive, because one false mistake can send you out. I'd like to think that, Forest do have a good chance. There are going to be some big teams in the competition. One of those big teams is Real Betis, managed by Manuel Pellegrini, who, of course, were runners-up in the Conference League.
What are the big teams? Oh, Betis is there, all right.
Porto, Porto would be a good team. Big team. They're in it.
Okay, Betis is there, all right.
Sturm as well. Sturmgrass. I don't know much about how good they are now.
Yeah, guys.
Michelin. I know they're decent, aren't they? Michelin. So
yeah, the Danish champions. Yeah. Should be okay.
And Porto. Yeah, I think Porto.
So Eugene, I think as long as Spurs will finish in the top 8 and qualify,
Porto is there
going to have a chance.
Yeah, Porto there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a good team still. Porto, I think, still decent.
No, I'm talking about Nottingham Forest. What levels are they going to be at? Will they be at the level to actually be able to win it? But like I said, if
I'm not
if
so sure.
Ange brings them to a strong position, right, in the Europa League, right?
Yeah.
Right. If Ange brings them to a strong position in Europa League, right, and then the January transfer window comes along, then that's when we will see whether Marinakis will push on. So let's see how that goes. All I can say, right? Because all I can say is this, right? What I believe in Big Mac is that he has ambitions. You get what I'm saying? He has the ambition to try to win big things at this moment for Forest, right?
Yeah.
That's why even though the Morgan Gibbs White saga and all that, right? To tell the truth, I give him kudos to that because he's standing on his own, volition.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let one of my best players leave. I really let Ilanga leave, right? That's not happening. So that I give him kudos is because he is thinking for his club. He is showing the ambition, right? And sacking of Nuno and bringing in Ange, right? That means he wants trophies. That's the first thing, right?
Well, yeah.
So he wants trophies. So the Europa League is a good trophy for him to get, and with that trophy, yeah, you get Champions League. You get what I'm saying? So that's how I see it. But at the moment, all I can say is that good luck to Big Ange, right? The Spurs fans will be watching. I'm a Spurs fan. I'll be sitting back. I'll be watching to see how you're being supported and all that. Will you be able to I've been saying, right? Evolve. Yeah, evolve is a good word, right? Evolve.
Yeah. Well, we'll see,
Agreed.
mate. 'Cause they were very defensive, really, weren't they? They always tried to hit on the counter attack. Forest. It's going to be a different matter here now with Ange there. Surely, you would think. And he's got some good players. Would you say he's got as good as he had at Spurs, or equally good, or more? Because he had a lot to work with, a fair lot to work with at Spurs. But do you think he's got more now at Forest?
To tell the truth, I think.
Yeah, go on, mate.
To tell the truth, I think he might be okay. Because you must always remember, Steve, last season, right? We were shit in the league, right?
Yeah.
And we were decimated by injuries. That's the thing. You get what I'm saying? So that's only one big fear is that for the it's already going around on social media, right? Ange is going to kill all their hamstrings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Typical.
Ange is going to get all the hamstrings busted. So yeah.
But I think that he's got some good players here, though.
Right.
I mean, don't forget they some new ones.
But like I said, if he evolves, then maybe it won't happen that way.
I think he's got he's got Chris Wood. He's good. I still think he's a good striker. I know. Yeah, he's got a few goals, and he still will keep scoring. So that's a good one. And you got Hutchinson in there now. He's got that one we were after, Calimiendo. We were trying to sign. They signed him instead. And a few others, of course. So they get back a T. They got a few good ones coming.
They body Calimiendo. All right.
Yeah, we were after him. We didn't get him, Eugene, and they nicked him off us. So, yeah, not great, was it? But anyway, But yeah, I think he's got a decent team. I don't think they can win Europe though. I don't think.
That means Ange will have the tools to develop, right?
Yeah.
Okay, guys. There's only one thing, right? The appointment is confirmed, right?
Sorry, Eugene. Sorry, mate. Sorry. Can you say it again, mate?
Yeah.
I said the appointment is confirmed, right? It's confirmed, right? He's already being.
Yeah.
The appointment. I said the appointment is confirmed.
Yeah, I think it's been confirmed. Yeah,
totally.
Right. Yeah.
Now we fans will go on and on and on about it, right? Yeah. Yeah. No, because we fans will go on and on about it, and then next thing you know, Jose Mourinho is the man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, obviously, I think, we'll wait for Eugen to come back, and he's pretty much obviously offered a lot of wonderful insights there.
I think it's announced that it has been actually. Has it been confirmed? I think
it has been confirmed. It has been confirmed. It was updated on the BBC website. He was at the training ground earlier today, and I'd like to think that with regard to Europa, he'll probably do whatever he can to make sure that he finishes in the top 8. And like Eugen says, once they get to the next stage of the competition, you buy in the January transfer window, you improve the squad. Of course, how he, names the Europa League squad will be interesting because obviously, as you will know, teams are going to have to make sure that they have a few homegrown players in that quota. And that was why, interestingly, when Ange named his Europa League squad for the final stages, he, had to dispense with Kinski and Forster, the reserve goalkeepers, and bring in Austin and Whiteman. So what I'm going to expect from him is to possibly try and make a run for one of the domestic cups, either the FA Cup or the League Cup, and see if he can't win either of those, and do as well as he can in Europa, and then see if they can just solidify themselves in the Premiership. Because the worst thing that can happen to any team which overachieves and finishes high is that they completely fall off a cliff domestically and be in danger of relegation. And I don't think anyone will want that. Ange won't want that. And I think Eugen's right. It will be up to Ange to see if he can evolve. And I do think he can evolve. And as I've said, he won't have a transfer window. He won't have had a preseason to work with the players. So he's going to be a little bit patient with them and try and see if he can get something good out of them. Yeah. And then in January is when he can try and work some magic, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, be up to you, Warren, there. Cheers for coming on, buddy.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Yeah, cool, mate. Cool. And Manny, before you go, can you give us a quick prediction on these scores? Armenia, Republic of Ireland, this game, 5 o'clock.
The Republic of Ireland should beat Armenia 3-0. I think there's enough about them to score a few more goals. What are the other scores, by the way?
Well, so you've got Serbia and England, obviously, later on. So
England to win 2-1. It probably won't be a very impressive win, but Serbia aren't, mugs by any means. Obviously there's no MLS tonight, so I think Livramento will be starting at left back. I hope he doesn't use Reece James as an inverted left back again. I do not want to see that rubbish. Who else? Huh?
Jordan Spence. Will Spence get a game? Do you think? Jordan Spence.
Spence is a brilliant shout. I'd like to see him, if he doesn't start, I'd like to see him brought on in the second half as a replacement for Livramento to show Tuchel how good he can be. And it was, of course, under Ange that Spence started to emerge as a talent, even if only due to injury to Destiny Udogie. But Spence proved his worth. So, I'm looking forward to quite a few things. I should try and catch the game tonight. And I do have to split though because I've got some errands to run. But thanks a lot for hosting this, Steve and Warren. I hope you enjoy the rest of the stream. Big up to Eugen also for joining in. Yeah, hopefully he might come back and offer some more insights. If he can't, it's been great having him on. Yeah, and to everyone else who's watching in the chat or on playback, do catch me here on The Buzz with Mr. B, and also catch The Hive, as it's called, and also on Mr. B Chats England Cricket, where we chat about England cricket, and a few other channels where you can find me. Don't really have the time to name them, but enjoy the match tonight, England fans. Try to at least, and good luck to Postecoglou. I'd like to think he'll do really well. Steve, Warren, a pleasure as always, but I've got to rush. And as for the rest of you, take care. God bless. Farewell. Not farewell, but amen. And see you all soon. Bye.
Cheers, Tony. Take care, mate. Cheers. Bye. Right, Warren. Thanks for coming on. And so, you're not going to go on about cricket as well. No, I know you're not going to all that.
I'm not.
Cricket.
Sorry, mate, but that was ridiculous.
Yeah, I know, mate. It was nothing to do with what we were talking about. So
yeah, I know.
But anyway, I got Eugene back. I'll bring him back in a minute. But I don't know if you know Eugene Warren. He's a Spurs fan from Korea. So do you want to say hello to him? He's here. Big up again, Eugene.
Hi, Eugene.
Big up, big up. Nice to meet you, Warren. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, we've got Warren here. He's an Arsenal fan, mate. Arsenal.
Arsenal fan. All right. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
What do you think of what do you make of this one as well, Warren? About this with that Big Ange coming in.
I think he's got an uphill task, right? Because he ain't going to get back in off the board. And as Eugene quite rightly pointed out, the transfer window's closed, so he's going to have to work with what he's got. I'm not convinced that those players are that good.
No.
You know, I just think it was a one-off remarkable season for him. I know you really like Chris Wood, but I'm not convinced about him. He's never really done it anywhere else he's been. For me, he's more of a prop forward than he is a football player. He's a workhorse, typical like Kiwi. Fair play to him. You know, he works hard and got a lot of spirit. That's commendable, but I'm not sure that he's got what it takes to be successful at this level.
Still fucking scored 2 against us, though. So, fucking hell, yeah.
Well, yeah, to add to your list, Steve.
Yeah, I know, yeah. It's growing rapidly.
He's Big Ange. He's not going to get the backing he needs, I don't think, in January. And I also think that trying to balance Europa League campaign with the rigours of a Premier League season, it's going to be too much. You know, because Forest aren't used to it, and neither Spurs, to be quite honest, very often. But you know, it's going to be difficult for him. He never really did well in Europe with Celtic either. It was a bit of a shit show, to be honest. But you know, he walked out of Celtic because he didn't get backed by the board. You've got a manager who's manager. You've got an owner who's toxic.
Yeah.
And you've got a chief exec there, Edu, who can't do deals. It's a recipe for fucking disaster, if you ask me. I don't know.
Edu, isn't he? Better at flipping burgers, Edu.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. And, you know, I just don't see how this is going to work. I think if he lasts into next season, I'll be shocked.
Yeah. But Warren, it would be a good show for the Premier League, right? All the drama, you know what I'm saying? You know,
well,
with the two Greeks there, right?
I'd be worried about it, mate, to be honest, because I wouldn't want to see them go down, and I think they're going to struggle because I just don't think, with his attitude to the way he plays football, it's great for the fans when it works, but when it doesn't, it's a bit of a nightmare. I mean, you know that better than anyone, Eugene. Like, when it went well at Spurs, it was fantastic. But a lot of the time, it was a bit of a nightmare.
After the first
6-4, 7-5.
Yeah. No, the thing is that, right, with Ange, we know his style of play, right? Whether he will evolve and be a better Premier League manager, that's for us to see, you know. I was saying that he should have been given a chance at Spurs, but he wasn't. But that has gone by now. Now we got Frank, so we'll be stuck with that. So the only thing now is that for Ange is that, right? Marinakis, his character, his demeanor, and the things that he does, right, is scary most of the time, right? So for me now, as I see this, it's going to be a scenario whether he will be able to maneuver the Marinakis scenario. You see, if he can't do it, I can tell you, right, sparks will fly, there's going to be a lot of drama going on in the club. The thing is that will he even last until the January transfer window or the next international break while this is all happening? That's all I'm going to say. But at the moment now, to tell the truth, of course, like what Warren says, that we don't want to see Forest get relegated and all that. I don't think they will. Right? They do have the quality at the moment to stay there. Yeah. But will the fans be able to take what Spurs fans took? Right, 22 losses in one Premier League season plus. But the positive side was that he did get us our trophy. After 17 years, right, getting a trophy and winning a European trophy in 44 years. So maybe that's one thing that maybe Marinakis is putting into account, is that hoping that Ange, right, be able to get them something, right? I'm not sure whether he'll do it in the first season for us, maybe in the next season. But if passions overflow on both sides, he might not even last the season. That's how I see it. Right? Don't forget, Jose Mourinho is still in the wings, right?
Yeah. If I was them, I'd rather get Mourinho. I would have got Mourinho over Big Ange.
He didn't come back, would he? I mean, after what happened there the last time, I just think, like, last season, Tottenham finished well down the Premier League table. Was it like 15th or something? They finished?
No, we were 17, bro, not 15.
17th, right?
Yeah.
Tottenham are a much bigger club with much bigger resources than what Forest have got, right? They're playing in the Europa League as well, and they're going to have to manage that and the Premier League. For me, I'm very concerned about it because I'm not sure how big their squad is. Will they be able to cope with playing Thursday, Sunday every week? I'm not
that's
sure.
true.
You were right, Steve, when you said at the tail end of last season that you didn't think Brentford were ready for European football. At first, I thought, what's he talking about? Then thinking about it, you're probably right because the squad.
I know, mate. I'm a Bees fan. I know we weren't ready.
The thing is, you need a big squad, and I don't think the Forest have got that big squad. And Ange is going to want to play like heavy metal football, like roaring football, both at home and abroad. And I just think they're going to get picked off, especially abroad. It will not work in Europe. He'll get picked off. He might get away with it more in England, but it will not work overseas, certainly against Betis and Malmo. Like that, to both of those clubs have got big European pedigree and are used to seeing their teams go far in the European competition. So I've got concerns about that. I think if he doesn't get backed, I think Eugene's right. I think he could be gone before the end of the season because I think he'll walk, because that was what happened at Celtic. He didn't get the backing he wanted, so he walked.
Yeah, well, we're going to see, aren't we? I suppose it's going to be interesting and see if he does last there. But it's going to be a different style of play than they're used to. I think Forest now. Will they get used to that? Is the thing, because they got to immediately get used to playing a different way. They're playing against Arsenal on Saturday as well, so
it'll be all right all the time they're winning. Right, all football fans care about is winning. Right, as soon as they start losing, and like losing crazily, like being 3-1 up and losing 4-3, or being 2-1 up and losing 4-2. Like happened a few times at Spurs, then they're going to like kick off, and Ange will get the blame for it. It won't be the owner that gets the blame for it, or Edu that gets the blame for it. It will be the manager. And if it was me, I wouldn't have gone there. Certainly not now. I would want to go there beginning of like maybe in the middle of December, something like that, or like towards the end of the season. So you got time to assess the squad, see want to bring in so that when the transfer window opens, you're ready to roll. But he's now got, what, September now? So it's like 3-4 months where he's going to have to play with what he's got. They could be right down the bottom of the table.
It was like Amorim coming in at United, wasn't it? He came in, he should have waited till the end of the season and come in at the start of the new season, you know.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean? But
thing,
he, you know, it's up for me. I think he's on really thin ice. And he's not going to get the support of that owner.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just think it's too risky.
I mean, he's got one foot from one extreme to another with chairmans, hasn't he? You know, Levy, as Eugene knows what Levy was like.
He's gone.
Yeah, thankfully for you. I'm happy for you there.
No, that's what I took umbrage with Manny for. Right? He was talking nonsense about, you know, most owners want to spend money. Don't want to spend money, sorry. It's nonsense.
Well,
there's
he spent a lot.
Owners who will spend money out there, but the problem they've got is that they've got financial constraints on them.
Yeah, PSR and so forth.
Yeah. And stuff like that. So, you know, look at, you know, it's a lot of good sides in the Premier League are willing to spend money. The problem at Tottenham was leaving.
It was.
Yeah, they've had a succession of world-class managers going in there and failed because they haven't been backed.
Yeah.
Why does that? You know, I just didn't get why Ange went there because I didn't see how he was going to change his spots, and he didn't.
Because you had the likes of Conte, don't forget, Mourinho, you know, top managers there, and you know, were they properly backed by Levy? It makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Well, they weren't. Clearly, they weren't. I mean, because you heard that press conference that Conte gave, and he was calling out everything to do with the club. You know, and he was right. Everything he said was right.
Yeah. Yeah. So going back to you, Eugene, what do you think he will be a success here? Now, Big Ange at Forest or not? Do you think he would? I know you were saying he'd probably go. He might go. He might not last. Do you think that's
but to tell the truth, right? I can't predict the future, but based on what I've been through, right? If Ange puts his mind to trying to win a trophy, right, and Big Mac doesn't steps in his way, right, then maybe there will be a chance for glory in the trophy, right? But in the Premier League, that's where you're gonna suffer. You guys say now, I've seen it, right? Like I said, at the moment now, if Ange does evolve, right, and changes his way of style of play and all that, and know how to adapt properly to certain kind of scenarios, then maybe they will have a bit better results in the Premier League. And not to forget, there's also the other part of, you know, once we're talking about the style of play, right, the gung-ho style of play, the way they got to defend and all that, right? How many hamstrings are going to be broken by before January? You get what I'm saying? So will the injury crisis happen at Forest? If all these things repeats itself, then it will be 100% proof that Ange can't do it in the Premier League, and I guess that will be the end of his Premier League career. You get what I'm saying? So he's getting a second chance more or less because, like I said earlier, he did bring a trophy to Spurs, which we haven't won something in such a long time. And you look at the history of what you call Nottingham Forest, right? When was the last time they've won a trophy? You know, you're talking.
When was the last time? Was it early 80s? Was it early 80s?
Yeah, you're looking way back then, right? You're talking way back then. You're talking about 40 years, right? 40, 50 years since they've won a trophy. So if Ange brings them a trophy, I guess that will be job done for him, right? But then, of course, he would be still judged on the fact that, you know, the Premier League, you know, everybody says is the bread and butter of a manager. But to me, is that to tell the truth, right? The bread and butter of a manager is actually the trophies that he brings into the club. Right,
exactly,
the Premier League, right? to tell the truth, guys, are you going to expect Nottingham Forest to win the Premier League? Nah, right? It's like you're asking, are you going to expect Spurs to win the Premier League? Nah, we never expect the Spurs to win the Premier League, right? So then we turn the scenario of the top 4 trophy, right? Right, and don't forget who created the top 4 trophy. Yeah, we all know who created that top 4 trophy scenario, right?
Yeah,
So,
Mr. Wenger.
but now, but now the thing is that with the new UEFA rulings, right? It's not any top 4 trophy we're talking about. We're talking about top 5 trophy now. You know, that's the most probably the top 5 teams qualifies automatically for the Champions League. So all I can say now, right? I can't make any predictions, right? The only thing I can say is that if Ange does adapt and show some nose and learning that that he failed with what he failed with Spurs, right? He's not going to repeat it. Then he might have a chance. But if he doesn't, right? We all know the what Big Mac will do. You get what I'm saying, right? I'm not sure he will tolerate that kind of scenario for Nottingham Forest, right? Being relegated or playing around with relegation, because this season we actually have seen, right, the teams coming up from the Championship, right? They have improved. You know, they spend big to try to maintain their status in the Premier League. So at the moment now, if you count the teams, right, those who have not actually spent money, to tell the truth, right, Mr. B, Steve, Brentford is one of the teams that looks like one of the teams that being touted for relegation. So
I know all that.
And then Wolves is another one. So but like I said, if the injuries start to mount early, then the writing might be on the wall very soon, right? But if it doesn't, Ange knows how to adapt, play the way that he needs to play, and then learn from his learn his lesson from running whilst managing Spurs. Then maybe he will get his chance, right, to prove himself. Because I can tell you one thing, right? Big Mac is not going to be as patient as Daniel Levy, because Daniel Levy gave him the first season. We qualified 5th to enter the Premier League. The Europa League, right? And then whilst going on that Europa League trophy-winning run, how shit we were. And I'm sure, guys, if you go back and watch all my shows, right? Every watch along I do, right? I'm screaming and shouting at the way that we play. So all I can say is, all I can say to all the Nottingham Forest fans, right? Yeah, brace yourself, guys. Brace yourself.
In for a roller coaster ride, I think. Yeah.
I
don't know. It'd be interesting to see, but So you've got them in December, haven't you? Spurs have got Forest in December, so should be an interesting.
Yeah. That would be the big Ange derby, right?
Yeah, if he's still there by then. Let's see. We'll see.
Let's see. Right. But never underestimate football, right? No. They always will spring surprises, At the moment now, we Spurs fans are on a high because Daniel Levy's gone. We are supposed to show ambition, right? With the majority shareholders, the Lewis family coming in, getting involved now. So let's see how that goes, right? And with Frank, I don't know. We played well in the first 2 games. And somehow or another, we lost to Bournemouth, And during that game, I was going like, no, what happened to our players? They all disappeared again.
Bournemouth were a better team, though, right? They were a better team, weren't they? Bournemouth.
Yeah, they were better. They were better than us in every aspect of the game, But the problem is that what happened to the Spurs, right? That turned up against Burnley and Manchester City. So that's the question that I would ask, I don't know. I had a theory because after we signed Xavi Simons, I think everybody went on a rave binge for the next 2 days. That's why they lost their legs.
Possibly. Who is it you got next, by the way, Tottenham? Who have you got?
We're playing West Ham.
West Ham. Well, they'll be on a high now, won't they? Showing a lot of confidence. Last against Forest, of course. So, Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see how that goes. I think we're playing West Ham away. That's the other thing, right? We're playing West Ham away.
At that
So
stadium,
it's going to be
they can't
at the
play
London.
there, really, can they? They're not good at their own stadium, really. It's too far away. That Olympic Stadium, it's too far away from the supporters. You know, you go back to like Park and whatever.
Yeah.
It was all close.
That stadium was more or less built for the Olympic style, right, with the track in the middle.
Yeah, that's right.
And I guess their owners didn't want to spend money to change it a bit. So yeah, it is what it is. But I know. I guess Potter is in a lot of trouble too, right? If Frank goes out there and beats him, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's still walking a tightrope, I think, there somehow. I don't mean that go just after one game. He got one great result, 3-0. So if he loses to you lot, he'll be back in the shit again, wouldn't he? So, what do you make of that, Warren? Do you think Potter's safe now or not really?
No, not at all. Because they've recently had a track record of just sacking managers, haven't they?
Yeah.
I don't think he's safe at all. I think it's quite sad, really, because I actually think he's fairly decent.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, it's not really working at West Ham, is it?
No. Well,
unless this is the start of it turning round. It might have been in such a mess that maybe it's taken this amount of time to turn it round. So let's see.
Well, I was surprised they beat Forest, to be honest. But there we go. I mean, you never know, do you? Sometimes it.
No.
And the best part is that they beat Forest convincingly. It was like what, 3-0, 4-0. So that's the weird thing about football. That's why I say you can never tell. So the only thing is, all I'm gonna say, right? Us against West Ham. I think we do have the slight upper hand at the moment, but everyone is coming back from the international break, guys. So let's see how that goes. All I can say is that, of course, I want Spurs to win, right? And of course, I'm going to predict Spurs to win. I'm a Spurs fan, so right. Yeah, but I don't know. At the moment now, all I can say is that for being a Spurs fan, just sit back and let's see what happens. Danny Levy's gone. Well, whether the giant transfer window will show that the new people in charge, will actually have to show their ambitions, right? Instead of just talk, right? Put it down, right? Put it down, guys. But Steve, thanks for having me on, right? I'm gonna make a move now, guys. Continue, have a great show. I'll catch up with you guys later, right? Because at this moment in time, I'm actually shifting house. That's why I haven't been able to plan any proper shows and all that. Yeah. Most probably hopefully by 1 or 2 weeks time, once I get back my internet connection and all that, then most probably I'll be doing more shows regularly from my house, right? But of course, I will still be doing some watch-alongs outside. But guys, thanks for having me on. Nice to meet you, Warren. I'll catch up with you guys later, guys. All right, bye-bye. Take care.
Take care,
mate.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one, mate. See ya. Take care. Cheers, Eugene. Yeah, because obviously he's Korean, I think. He's in Korea. So I think he's Korean anyway. Like that. So yeah, it's quite tough. Different hours over there, isn't it? Different zones and whatever. So trying to watch football, he's probably in the middle of the night or something over there, or in the morning or something.
I've got no idea, mate.
No.
To be honest. But yeah, fair play to him.
Yeah, I've been on. Well, I've gone on his. Well, I haven't actually gone on his shows. I've been in his live chat and stuff of his shows, but he's got a very good channel actually, really great channel. So go check that out, guys. And Eugene, it's Spurs Asian TV. It's cool. So check that out, guys. Go and look at that channel. Brilliant content there. Even though it's Spurs, but don't let that put you off. But anyway, Warren, what do you think? I mean, obviously, going back to these internationals as well now, what do you think this score is going to be? It's 0-0 at the moment, Armenia and Republic of Ireland. Do you think Republic of Ireland will do something here? Get a result?
Well, they should do, shouldn't they? I mean, you know, Armenia aren't great. I mean, did England play them recently, Steve?
No, not Armenia. No, I don't think they've ever played Armenia, as far as I know.
I'm watching the game here on my app. I'm watching the game now as I'm talking to you, and it's still 0-0, and it's about 20 minutes gone. But yeah, I hope that they do. I hope that Ireland do get a win, because it'd be a good start for them to the World Cup qualifier campaign if they can get a win against Armenia.
Yeah, I don't want an injury to Collins or anything here, or anyone, you know.
Well,
anyone
you've got two players playing in this game, haven't you? You've got Collins and Queven Kelleher.
Kelleher, yeah, of course, Kelleher, yeah. I don't think we've got anyone else there. No, we obviously had Damsgaard.
It would be a good player. It would have been a good player for the Bees if you're looking for a striker. But unfortunately, he's gone to Italy, and that would have been Evan Ferguson.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. He scored the other day, didn't he? Republic of Ireland. So
he's top, mate. He's going to be top quality player. He's still only really young, and I'm predicting him for the top.
Yeah, well, be up to you there, Flair, as well. He's going on about him. He's a clown, and Marinakis, of course, he is a bit, I think, but
yeah,
there we go.
He's utter. But do you know what I mean? I'd like an owner at Arsenal who's an egomaniac. I really would, but I don't want one like that who thinks he knows what he's talking about. I just want the owner to hold people to account. Do you know what I mean? Because that's not happening at Arsenal. No, £1 billion spent, Steve, and questions still aren't being asked about why he hasn't won a trophy.
Yeah.
I find it staggering, mate.
Well, he shouldn't be there, let's be honest, but there we go.
He should never have been appointed. But
well, never. No. Well, why was he? I mean, you had all them other top managers around, and you go for him. That didn't make sense, did it? Let's be honest.
I think it's got something to do with that Super League business and about taking competitive games overseas. That's what I think. Because I don't think that's gone away. I just think they're keeping it on the lowdown.
Yeah, but let's talk about your game, by the way, mate. And brilliant.
Yeah, I did watch the game, Steve. And
how weird was it, though, in an empty stadium? It looked so strange.
It's like COVID time all over again.
COVID,
I have to say, I'm a bit disturbed by it. Why are they being allowed to play in international tournaments, right? And Russia aren't. The reason that they're having to do all this play behind closed doors and also play on a neutral ground is because of their involvement with the Russians. Yet the Russians aren't allowed to play at all, right? So I find it really disturbing. The other fact is the only people that FIFA are hurting in this, or UEFA whoever it is that's responsible for it, is the Belarus fans. They're not hurting the Belarus team because they're still being allowed to play. I just don't understand it, Steve. It makes no sense to me. But leaving all that aside and going on to the game, I thought it was a decent performance. I would have preferred a bigger margin of victory, but I'm concerned because Denmark slapped Greece.
Yeah, they did, yeah. I was surprised. Greece are a very good team. Great team. I'm surprised because Greece are a great team, you know.
Yeah, I know. They are a great team. And I think, like I said to you the other day, I think they're one of the best in the world at the minute. So I was shocked to see that result. Apparently, Damsgaard was outstanding.
Yeah. Well, he scored that first goal, you know. So brilliant. Even Højlund scored. That tells you something. If Højlund can even score, I mean, come on, you know, couldn't fucking do it at Man United, could he? Yeah, fucking barn door with a banjo or whatever, you know, whatever the saying is, you know. But he's fucking,
Outdoors 5 yards, mate.
yeah.
Yeah, what was that Manny was shouting out when he first come on the stream? Because I couldn't make out a word that he was saying, and it sounded a bit bizarre.
Well, I don't know. I zoned out, mate, to be honest with what he was saying. It's all fucking no bollocks, half of it, mate. So, but, I just couldn't listen to it anymore. I was just getting fed up with it, to be honest. It was just shit, But, no,
But
but
never mind. We're not. It's not a review of Manny's involvement with your stream. So,
No, true.
Greece losing at home 3-0 against Denmark. A lot of people are going, yeah, that's a great result for Scotland. I don't think it is. I think it is. It's the worst possible result because I think Greece are a great side. I think they're going to beat us home and away, and I think that could have really hit. It could have damaged our chances of qualifying because I think we're competing with Denmark to get that second spot. So them doing that means we've got to beat Greece at least once. We've got to match what Denmark do. And we are not going to go to Greece and win 3-0. It's not happening. Like, if we can't beat this mob, we beat Belarus 3-0. How the hell are we supposed to beat Greece 3-0? I think it's a bad result for us.
Yeah.
I still, despite that result, I still think that we're going to be competing for second place because I think Greece will turn them over in the return game.
Yeah.
But
this is what Flair's on about. He's talking about Marino here.
Yeah, Marino got a hat trick.
Yeah. And against Turkey, though, they're a good team as well, I thought. They've done really well. Was it in the Euros and whatever? They've done.
But this is Spain, mate. They don't mess around.
They are. Yeah, quality.
They don't beat the likes of fucking.
They beat us, didn't they? So in that final.
Yeah, they don't beat teams that are ranked 174th in the world 2-0 at home. They fucking really turn the screw. Do you know what I mean? So that's a proper fucking result. That is.
Yeah. I mean, he was striker for a while there at Arsenal, wasn't he, Marino? So
no, I don't agree with it. The man's not a striker; he's a midfield player. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, he can score goals from midfield, bit like Scott McTominay and John McGinn, but he's not a goal scorer.
No, he's not. No, he's not a proper out-and-out striker, is he? No, but
Arteta don't like playing with strikers, but we're not here to talk about Arsenal. Steve.
No, let's not get back to that, mate, and fucking go back to all that shit show there at fucking Circus FC and everything. No, we won't talk about that.
Really smart circus, yes.
But no, I mean, so yeah, let's get. Get back to your game. Hold on a minute. Get back to that because you were talking about Scotland and sort of went off on a tangent. But it was a great win for you lot in an empty stadium, of course. But who cares? It doesn't matter. You won. They got 2 goals. Shay Adams and who was the other one? Own goal. I was own goal. Yeah. But the other.
It was a good. The ball was crossed in, and the guy just headed it into his own net.
That's right. Yeah.
We did put a lot of pressure on them, Steve. To be fair, and I think we deserved the victory. But again, it just goes back to the same story. I know that Shay Adams scored the goal, but we need a killer up front, and we haven't got one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know that they're it's a dying breed, out and out goal scorers that are lethal, but we have to find one from somewhere.
Is there any other teams in Scotland in the Premier one has got a good striker?
Well, there was a striker on the bench I would have liked to have seen come on.
Yeah.
Right, but he didn't get any minutes. I don't get it.
Which is
Scroll
it?
down, Steve.
Yeah. Oh, here, yeah.
Not Dykes.
Uh,
not Hurst.
oh,
That's. Do you remember Hurst who played Wednesday?
Oh, yeah.
Son.
That's his son, yeah. I remember. David Hurst, yeah.
Guy I'm thinking of it. Oh, yeah, that's it. Number 20, Kieran Bowie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, David's son.
Striker.
David's son. David Bowie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not quite, mate. But yeah, Kieran Bowie. He's a good striker.
Yeah. I think I did. Did he come on? I'm sure he did come on. I'm sure I've seen him come on. Bowie.
What's that? What, Bowie?
Did he come on or not? I can't remember.
He didn't.
No. But because I was watching this game as well, and I thought it was much better than it was against Denmark. He played a lot better football this time, I think. Scotland.
Yeah, because we're playing against an inferior opposition, so we were able to express ourselves a bit more. That game against Denmark, it was really about containing them. I mean, they smacked Greece 3-0 in their own backyard.
Yeah, it's a good result for you in the end, wasn't it?
It shows how good a result that was in Denmark. But I'm worried about that result between Greece and Denmark. I think it's a worrying sign. Aaron Hickey come on near the end.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I was a little bit worried. He looked some bad tackling sometimes there, and I hope he was okay in the end. So I didn't want him getting hurt, again.
The thing is, he's going to have to be handled with kid gloves, in my opinion, because he was out for so long, Steve.
Yeah. Got he wrapped in cotton wool, really. I think.
100%. Because what you don't want to happen is what used to happen at Arsenal. Like players would be out for long-term injuries and they'd get rushed back and put in the team too soon, like starting, and then they'd pick up another load of new niggling injuries.
I agree with Flair there as well, what he's saying, Flair, about this international break, yeah. It is fucking boring, it's tedious, and, especially with England playing, we don't like watching it, it's fucking useless. And we'll see what happens tonight. I mean, if he does the same shit tonight, Serbia, much better team, obviously, than Andorra.
He will, Steve. And to be honest, it would probably be better for England if he loses it. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but for the benefit of the England team moving forward, it's probably better if they lose that game, so they can get someone he gets the sack, and they get someone who will be able to come in and get that team playing on the front foot and play some proper entertaining football. Because I feel sorry for the people that are turning up there having to watch that shit.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's also abroad tonight. It's over there, isn't it? So. I don't know how he's going to go. That's going to be fucking hell. That ground, wherever it's played, is going to be rocking. No, both sets of fans in Serbia are fucking mental. Yeah.
No, they are, Steve. They're fucking real hardcore. Like a lot of them have got connections to the Serbian militia and stuff like that. Mate, I could tell you stories about them, right? That would make you fucking hair curl. It was disgusting. Like really bad, like evil stuff. No, I'm not going to say it on here because you might have kids with gin and stuff. But still, it is seriously. I'm not fucking about. This isn't just mold like fucking scraps. No, they're fucking like killing people and fucking all sorts. No, it's not fucking good, mate.
No, of course it's not. No, mate, definitely not. As much as people hate Havertz, Germany are missing him, to be honest. He's key part of the Germany team.
Watching your streams, obviously, mate.
No.
As much as people in commas hate him.
I wish he weren't playing against us fucking sometimes. That's what I like.
Imagine if he played against England and scored against England, Steve. That'd just put the fucking cherry on top of the cake, wouldn't it?
Yeah, fucking German giraffe. No,
He scored the winning penalty in a penalty shootout.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he might be backed, but whether he does anything, we'll see.
He won't be backed. He will not be backed. I can guarantee you. He's not going to be fucking backed.
No.
That's been put in there deliberately, mate. He's on a wind up.
Yeah. Coming off the bench at Old Trafford, kept the high press on. He's always been crucial for Germany. Well, I don't know. I don't think they look that great, this Germany team, you know. I know they won the other day against Northern Ireland. I might put that result up in a minute, but 3-1. I mean, they got it back to 1-1 Northern Ireland, and I thought they would do better in the end, but no, Germany come through. Gnabry scored, of course, and Vert scored. Hasn't done it for Liverpool yet, but scored a great free kick there. I don't think they're that great a team, Germany. I don't know about you, Warren, looking at them this time.
They're all right. I don't think they're in the top draw of teams. I think Spain are out on their own, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I think France, if they get their act together, possibly. We're talking on world level, Steve, or just Europe?
Well, I don't, in Europe, I guess, but not obviously as a world force anymore. I don't think they're that great.
No, I mean Dutch possibly coming back. French. Us.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Yeah. You know what?
French.
You have got some talent. I think Gannon Doki's a good player. I really rate him. He was great last night.
Seriously, if we had a killer up front, like the fella who plays for Man City, the striker, the one that's banged in all those goals when he first arrived. What's his name?
What? Where?
The guy at Man City.
Oh, not Haaland.
With a Haaland, we'd be a massive threat. I'd rate our chances, but we haven't. So we're always going to struggle to score goals, and then obviously there's the issue with the centre of defence and the goalkeeper, because the fullbacks are top draw. No doubt about it. We've got two world-class left backs, like a world-class right back in the making, and the midfield is fucking top draw, and we've got them coming out of our ears. It's just up front that there's a problem.
Yeah, it's that is a shame, really. But you haven't really got a proper good strike force, really. But as I say, there's still talent there.
Midfielders, most of the time. I know it didn't happen in this game, but normally 9 times out of 10, the goals will come from like John McGinn, Scott McTominay.
Yeah. He was good, McTominay. I thought again like that. So you got Denmark now, isn't it? Is it Denmark or Greece? You got Greece. Sorry, Greece. You played Denmark. It's Greece, yeah.
Yeah. So we need to get a result out of that game.
Yeah. Do you think you can or not, Warren? Or...
No. I think they're too good, Steve. I think if the World Cup was played now, I'd back them to get to at least the semi-finals. That's how highly I rate them. Right. I think they're probably better than Brazil. I'm not convinced about Brazil, mate. I just think I don't think they're nowhere near the level they used to be at. Argentina obviously are going to be strong.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think Brazil are the force they were anymore.
Morocco would be another, and another one would be difficult to play against and could upset a few teams.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a lot of good African teams coming out. Are doing well now.
South Africa are doing well. They're playing Nigeria at the moment in a qualifying game.
Yeah,
If
well,
they
what
win
about
it, they will qualify for the World Cup. Last thing you need is bloody them being really good at football as well as rugby,
Yeah.
mate. And cricket.
Yeah.
Look at this game. This is mental, isn't it?
5-4. Yeah. Who'd have thought that? I never could always think of Italy conceding a load of goals or even scoring a load of goals. So,
Even they got an own goal. They scored 2 own goals.
yeah.
Italy to help out the opposition. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, you're right. Italy, that game in the back in the day would have been a regulation 2-0 victory for them, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it makes you wonder, well, what's their defence like now? They ain't got very good defence now, Italy. So, you remember them bloody arseholes they used to have at the back? Fucking hell. Them cunts at the back. Oh.
Well, their back four, that AC Milan back four, what was it? They had Maldini.
Maldini, yeah. Is it Materazzi? Materazzi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just fucking ridiculous.
That one
never mind fucking scoring a goal, you wouldn't even get a shot off.
That guy that got Zidane sent off. Do you remember that? And I think he's not long retired, is he? The Italian guy. That defender, big git, wasn't he? Big shit, wanker.
Yeah.
He was. I hated him. I think everyone hated him. He got Zidane sent off. Didn't he? He said something about, was it his mother or something?
Yeah. No, he was an arsehole, mate. Absolute arsehole. But look at this item. That Reticui, he got 3 assists. And that Moise, is that Moise Keane who got those goals?
Yeah, Moise Keane, yeah.
He got 2. So, but it's just the other end, like conceding 4 is ridiculous.
Yeah, you never think that. Really. No.
The kit's nice, I have to say. I do like that shirt.
Yeah, he's good, isn't it? Yeah. He's nice, yeah. Yeah. Italy in danger of failing to qualify. Oh, well, we'd be really upset with that, wouldn't we?
I know someone in your chat will be really upset with it, and that's
Luca.
He will not be happy.
Yeah, we don't care though, because they're arseholes, Italy, aren't they? Well, they've done to us before.
Masters of the Dark Arts, mate. Well, they used to be. I used to hate playing them because they always found a way to win. Always. Didn't matter who they were playing.
Fair means or foul.
They would always find to grind out a victory by either fair means or foul. They always did it.
Yeah, Calafiori, look, he was on the bench for them. Maldini, you got Maldini there.
Where's he? Oh yeah, Maldini. Bloody hell! I think he's related as well.
Got to be, isn't he? Yeah.
Well, there's 3 generations of them, isn't there? There's Paolo, this fella, and then the grandfather, Cesare Maldini. He was he was the national team manager for a while.
Oh, they've had a lot of great players though over the years, Italy. Let's be honest.
Goalkeeper Donnarumma, he's the best goalkeeper in the world, allegedly.
Yeah, he's gone to City, isn't he? So.
Yeah, well, we'll see how good he is.
Yeah, he might strengthen them. I mean, it's a shame for Trafford now. I feel sorry for him because he'd go back to being number 2 or in the background now, Trafford. So
I really do. I have to say it, mate. I know I've said it before. I like that lad at Palace.
Henderson, yeah.
Yeah, I would put him in like England's number one, mate, if it was down to me.
He should have played against Andorra, I think. Should have
Well, yeah,
played there.
definitely should.
He wouldn't have had lots to do, but
playing the likes of Henderson, like people have had their careers and like are in their mid to late 30s. Why is he playing them? And like Kane as well. I just don't get it.
Yeah, Kane's finished, I think.
I just don't think, I think they should just like, retire him. I mean, he's been a great player for England and whatnot, but I don't think he's. It reminds me, what it reminds me of, Steve, was that period when Alan Shearer was playing for England, and he got to the point where he was just holding them back because they could only play one way. It was too one-dimensional. They couldn't mix up the play. Do you know what I mean? It was too one-dimensional, and if they like mixed it up a bit, they could have had a bit more success, but they didn't do it.
No, it's it is a shame really when you see these great players coming to the end of their careers not as good as they used to be. The form's gone.
Ollie Watkins through the middle, mate. If it was down
to
there.
Well, that's what Flair's saying now. I think it's time for Watkins to come in. Definitely now. I mean, he scored in that. Was it that World Cup? Was it the World Cup or Euros we played the last one? I know he scored.
I know you're going to hate what I'm going to say, mate. But I am going to say it because I think it would work for England. I think you know what I'm about to say.
Yeah, but go on then. Anyway, Warren, go on.
Watkins and the fella that was at Brentford.
Tony
up front together.
Yeah.
Whenever he's played for England, mate, he's looked on fire. He works hard. I think he could be like good outlet when the ball, like when they're under the cosh, he could work as a target man for them, and he can finish. Like despite everything that people say about him, and a lot of what he said about him, and especially by your good self, it's true. But the man knows where the back of the net is, mate.
Yeah, so why is he playing in fucking Saudi Arabia then? I know it's a big league, so it's for money, isn't it? Let's be honest.
That's the issue, though, isn't it? That's the negative side of him. But I just think that England, they should be using these games against the likes of that mob they played the other night as a training exercise and an opportunity to try out new players and different formations.
Yeah.
And have the regular ones sitting on the bench, and if it's not working and they're struggling,
you can bring them on.
Bring the substitute on because you can make 5-6 substitutions now.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't know until you try them, do you, mate? At the end of the day, and when he's not doing that, he's sticking by the same old, and it's fucking. I don't know. I don't like it. I hate it. You got to fucking experiment now. Come on, how are we going to know? Right, if the proper ones, the regular ones, that get injured, how do you know who we got to bring on to replace them? If you don't try them out, you don't know. And I think it's important. We've got to do this, but they never do. It's not just Tuchel.
It's been like this for donkey's years, Steve.
Yeah.
In the England national team, they play these players for way too long. Like it's like a fucking members club, and do you know what I mean? It's like the England cricket team as well. But we've had enough chat on this stream. For one day.
I don't want to go back to that again, Warren. No, fuck that. So let's move on and talk about this one. Well, this was a terrible for Northern Ireland. It was good at one stage, 1-1. They got it back to 1-1, but I still don't think this is a great Germany team. I
don't think it is either, but Northern Ireland did show a lot of spirit, a lot of fight. And they did hold out really well till about the 70th minute, and then it fell apart. They scored Germans scored 2 goals in 3 games.
Yeah. Vert scored, and he hasn't done a lot at Liverpool yet.
Looks like Ireland conceded. They've got Armenia have got a penalty.
Oh, have they? Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh dear. Not looking good then if they concede, but then if they got enough time, I'm sure they could come back. Republic of Ireland.
They ain't scored it yet.
No, but they might. They probably will.
They have done. It's 1-0.
Oh well. Oh dear. That's not great for Republic of Ireland, is it? But still.
No, they really need to win this game.
But yeah, this one I thought was really good performance by Northern Ireland, though. Actually, I thought they'd done all right in this game, but just too much in the end against Germany. I still don't think they're great. I think against the better team, I think they might be found wanting, Germany. And not to say Northern Ireland are really shit, but they're not amazing. They're not a fantastic team, but they're okay. Yeah, so they got Slovakia next, I think. Yeah. No, they played Slovakia, haven't they? Played Slovakia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have they played it?
Who's that? Sorry, Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland.
I'm not sure, but Slovakia, they won 3-0, I think.
No, they played Luxembourg.
Yeah.
So they played Slovakia, yeah. No. It could be a tough one, Slovakia, maybe. But I think they could come through it. Northern Ireland, possibly. It will be Germany again. I think it'll be the toughest one again. But
yeah, they got to play them over in Belfast, obviously.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a bit tricky, mate, really. Mind you, I do rate their coach. I think he's a decent coach.
Yeah, Michael O'Neill.
He knows what he's doing. No, they do bring out like top quality managers. Like you look at them.
Yeah.
Right, Neil Lennon, Brendan Rodgers, this fella, Martin O'Neill.
Michael O'Neill.
They're all real fucking top quality managers. That's the thing.
Yeah. It would be good if they could get through here. It might be a playoff. They might go to a playoff, maybe. I don't know. But
I just can't see him winning the group, Steve. I think damage was done the other night against the Germans. I think
they scored a great goal, Northern Ireland, as well, though.
They did do. It was a great goal. I mean, it has to be said.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it's still a defeat. But yeah, so obviously that's gone, and obviously not till October. I think is the next one for them.
They'd lost this game 2-1. Yeah, it would have been disappointing, but I think it wasn't a 3-1 game, mate. I really don't. I think it flattens the Germans a little bit. That, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. As I say, I don't think they're the best team, the best German side. I mean, I think was it that time when we beat them again as well? It was in the Euros.
5-1.
That was a while back, wasn't it? Under Keegan. Was it? No, not Keegan Eriksson. Sorry.
Yeah, it was under Sven. That was.
Yeah. R.I.P. Sven. Yeah.
I remember my mum was watching that and she was fucking going ballistic. She was loving it.
Yeah. And then Heskey scored the 5th one. Yeah, I remember it. What a game! Yeah, Gerrard and Owen and all that scored, didn't they? Yeah, what a game! I remember all that.
We all loved it, didn't they?
Yeah. Oh, brilliant! But yeah, I'm trying to think where. I know we beat them I think it was the Euros. Was it 2020? And Sterling, was it Sterling and whatever scored? If I remember rightly.
I think they won 2-0, didn't they?
2-0, yeah.
Or was it 2-1?
I think it
Like
was
sort
2-0.
of like quarterfinals, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was the Euros. And I don't think they were that great then either, Germany, to be honest.
That was the Euros when it went all around Europe, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was, yeah. Yeah.
I like that actually, Steve. I don't know what your thoughts were about it, but I like
Yeah,
the
I thought it was
fact
good.
that the games for the finals were played in lots of different countries.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? It's good to take it all around, and they get that experience then of what it's like, in that country to go and watch it,
To be honest, mate, I think I'd like to do away with the finals tournament and have 2-leg playoffs for the Euros, like
Yeah.
Champions League or Europa League. When it gets to the knockout bit, just have like a knockout, like 2 legs,
Mm.
home and away. I'd think it would add something to it.
Yeah, definitely. It would, but will they do that? Doubt it somehow.
It's half time, 1-0 to Armenia, penalty.
Yeah, I'll come back. I hope they come back, Republic of Ireland, and do something in the second half. But
They need to, because this Armenian side, like, I think they're a similar ranking level as what that lot that England played the other night.
Gonna have Mkhitaryan. He'll be there, won't he? Is he still playing for him?
God knows.
Is
he there?
He's not in the first team.
Hold on, mate. Can you scroll back up again, mate? I think he was there.
Right.
Yeah, is that him?
No, he's not there. He's not there, Warren.
No.
No, he's not. He's not even on the bench. Yeah, he was a good player at one stage. I know he didn't really do it at Arsenal, did he? Really? Like he performed there.
No.
But, he was a good player. I mean, we went to Man United. He was shit there, I think, as well.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, yeah. Who cares though? There, yeah. But but no, I mean, so what do you think about? We're going to the England one now. I'm dreading it, talking about it, but we're going to go to talk about the England game tonight. It's
Let's talk about
will it be any good?
Game against Serbia. Please don't make me talk about that fucking game the other night.
No, I had enough talking about it myself, mate. When I was doing that stream, I get fucking annoyed, talking about it. Oh, fucking hell. Yeah,
It was like watching. It was fucking dreadful, mate. I'm just sick and tired of listening to people talking crap about that team.
You're making excuses.
They're not fucking bigging up how good they are for beating a team ranked 174th in the world like they were in Talk Sport. They're talking about giving the manager a chance or fucking defending his selections, and it's bollocks, mate. All of it. That's why I get annoyed with these fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Because none of it. I wouldn't mind if they were arguing from the basis of facts, but they're not. They're fucking reading stuff from fucking Wikipedia.
Yeah.
And talking absolute fucking bollocks.
It's not coming out of their own head. It's not coming out of their own mind.
They're unable to get wrong. And they're coming onto these fucking streams and spouting this fucking rubbish.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
Fucking nonsense. It's not an opinion. It's facts based on fucking incorrect information.
Yeah, definitely. It's we want the real ones coming on, not these fake people who think they know it and they don't.
This game is going to be a real tricky one, mate.
Definitely, yeah. It will be. They're no mugs, they're no Andorra. I mean, they only beat Latvia 1-0, so read into that what you will, but
It's going to be a snore fest again, mate. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
He's not going to go out there and open up. He's going to sit. He's going to sit and defend and try and hit them on the counter because he's going to try and get them.
Mm.
And I sort of understand it. He's going to try and draw them out and hit them on the counter attack. That's what I reckon he's going to try and do. So he's going to try and get the team to sit deep.
Yeah.
But I just think he's yesterday's man, mate. I just don't think he's got what it takes.
I agree with you, Warren. 100%, buddy. You know, I don't know what he's doing there. I'll fucking have him out. I really would. I really would have him out. But they, I guess they can't do that. They should. I mean, the thing is, right, you know, you've got time still. You've got time, okay, we're in a qualifying campaign. But whoever the new manager is coming in, has still got a chance, still got time. I'll get, Eddie Howe myself, as you said. Eddie Howe would be ideal.
It's answer, isn't it?
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? He knows most of the players.
Yeah.
He knows what makes them tick. He sees them week in, week out. Just he knows what he's doing as well. He's tactically astute.
Yeah.
Like how many times has he scored Arteta, Steve?
Oh God, quite a few
times. Every time I play Newcastle, Arsenal never get much out of the game, if anything.
No.
That, and that's down to Eddie Howe. Because let me tell you, I don't know if you know this, but Eddie Howe, he had like a break from football, right, or coaching football. During that period, he went around Europe spending time with loads of coaches, watching them doing their training and listening to and chatting to them about how they set their teams up, talking about tactics. One of the people we went to see was the fella at Atletico Madrid, Diego Simeone.
Oh, him, yeah. Well, yeah. What manager?
Got down and Abbey up on the screen for Steve.
What?
You know,
I don't know, mate. That's just part of this fucking independent.
So
anyway,
he went all over Europe, like getting up knowledge. Just a shame that Arteta didn't want to do that because he thinks he fucking knows it all. Right, it just annoys me, Steve. It really does. And is that where they're playing?
Yeah. Belgrade, Rajko Mitio. Is it Mitio? Rajko Mitio.
I don't think that's Red Star Stadium. It's got red seats because they play in red and white stripes. The other mob from the other part of the city, Partizan, they play in black and white stripes. I used to have a mate who was a massive Red Star fan. He fucking hated.
Oh, they were nutters, weren't they? They were fucking nuts.
Well, both of them are. They're fucking psychopaths. Do you know? Like I said to you, I've got some really horrible fucking stories I could tell you about them, but it's not the right place to do it. I'm not going to do that to your channel because the fucking stream will get taken down, mate.
Yeah,
I guarantee you, get taken down.
They said they're planning to walk off if racially abused.
Well, yeah, there'll be all sorts going on, mate, and the atmosphere will be really hostile. It's an awful place. It's one of the worst places in the world to go and play football in, mate.
Yeah. But they're urging fans to behave, the Serbian FA. 51,755 capacity, Rajko Mitic Stadium.
It is Red Star's ground.
Red Star Belgrade, yeah.
Yeah. Because they used to have a stadium that held nearly 100,000.
Well, they've already got it reduced because of racist chanting against Andorra in June. So they haven't reduced by 15%.
Why aren't they having to play behind closed doors?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, like Scotland.
15%. What's that going to do?
No,
Make
it's
them
not.
play behind closed doors.
Mm,
And like,
definitely.
they should be trying to identify who these people are in the stadium and like issue banning orders on them.
Well, yeah, they should, but yeah, they never do it. They don't do it.
I hope if it starts tonight that the players walk off the pitch.
Yeah, I hope so. I know.
Because I think there's a high probability that it will. Knowing what I know about that mob, mate, they're not good people. There's like seriously evil individuals involved with them, like seriously disturbed, fucking evil people.
Yeah.
Remember Ratko Mladic? Do you remember him?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, he was involved with Serbian football.
Oh, I do remember him. Yeah. Yeah, they're going for a draw here, 1-1.
I think 1-1 would be a good result, mate, if I'm being honest, the way England are playing at the minute.
Yeah.
Because I could see England losing this game. If the Serbs get an early goal, it could be a fucking really difficult night. If England concede, say, in the first 10, 15 minutes, mate, this game could go really badly wrong.
Yeah. They got a few good players as well, because you got Mitrovic and all that there.
And he's a handful, mate. He ain't gonna back off, is he?
No.
You know, he's gonna rough up them England defenders.
Yeah, be up, Luca. Yeah, he will. Yeah. I don't know what happened to him over here. I mean, because then he was at Fulham for quite a while, wasn't he? And scored a few goals there, but I don't know what. He went back abroad, didn't he, somewhere? And I don't know what exactly he's doing now, but he will be a handful, as you say. Lukic, Milenkovic, some good players there.
I know.
This ain't going to be an easy one tonight at all.
No, it's not.
There's a few out. John Stones was out. Of course, they dropped MLS out the squad. I think Jed Spence should get a game. I really do. Hope he gets a game. See what he can do.
What the score's going to be, Steve?
Oh, possibly a 1-1, but I don't know. I'd like to see it. It could be close. Could be a 2-1. England, maybe. But it's going to be tight, isn't it? Really is.
I just don't see England winning it. If they play like they did the other night, I reckon the best that England can hope for is a 1-1.
Yeah.
I think there's danger they could lose it.
But lose by, say, a 2-1 or 2-0 or something, or
2-1 or 1-0, something like that. I don't think it'll be a lot of goals because that England defence is quite watertight. But that performance the other night was shocking.
Yeah, it definitely was. It's got to be better than it was then. It's got to be better tonight, but remains to be seen. I don't know what the team's going to be. As I say, I hope Jed Spence gets a go. I hope Gibbs White plays from the start. Never seems to play from the start. I don't know why. Good player. He'll probably give that Anderson another game, probably, I suppose. Madueke probably
Can you
play.
explain to me why that fella that they keep all raving about got called up in the first place? He plays for the Forest, right? He's not. Do you know? Not that there's anything wrong with that, but
he's done all right. He's played pretty well, I think. I've seen him.
Is there other players like who in that position?
Well, as I say, I'll probably have Gibbs White, but I think he brought him on in the end, like near the end, and I thought, well, why? He should be on from the start, Gibbs White, And
I don't understand why they're raving about this guy. and about what a great performance it was against the
Right.
team. Let's not forget they were playing against a team that are ranked 174th in the world. Like you could have picked a team from League One, where the players would have looked equally as good. Because
the under 21s out there. You could have had the under 21s out there. They played last night. They won 2-0.
That's what I was saying to you. Put the under 21s in. Give them some experience of like a top, like of playing at a high level.
Yeah.
No, I just think it's nonsense, mate.
Yeah, I agree. I agree totally. But there you go. It's going to be the same shit again. It's probably going to be really turgid and fucking boring and negative.
It will be. He's going to go out in that game, Steve. I'm telling you now, it's going to be a snore fest. He's going to set up the team not to concede and defend. And if they get an opportunity on the break, all well and good. But he ain't going to be worried about going there and coming away with a 0-0. No.
Well, I just hope we turn on them. A lot of people complain if it's the same shit again because, I've had enough of it, mate. It's just fucking useless. And we keep watching England and, we don't get anything good, special performances. It's all the same shit.
My question is, right, when he came in and took over from Gareth Southgate, if he was really interested in playing on the front foot and playing exciting attacking football, why didn't he bring in the fella from Tottenham, the number 10?
Solanke.
No, the English guy.
Sorry, I know Madison. You know about Madison?
Why didn't he bring in Madison? Why didn't he bring in Grealish?
Get Grealish is
still playing and dealing with these players that have failed in the past. Where's Foden?
Yeah, Foden's not doing that well actually.
Who would fucking do well under this man's negative, boring tactics, Steve?
Well, you mentioned Grealish there. He's on top form at the moment for Everton. He's on fire at the moment. So why is he not in there?
This is what I'm saying. None of the players that he's picking, for me, they're not fucking good enough, and that's part of the problem. He keeps going for all these Chelsea mates.
Yeah.
Get players in who have got the fucking talent and ability to break down a low defensive block. Grealish can do it. Foden can do it.
Yeah.
The fella who was at Spurs, the number 10. Why? I just don't understand.
He's injured, so he can't play. He's injured, so that's why he's not playing. Madison, he's injured.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fair play. But it's just not, mate, it's not fucking good enough. Do you know what I mean? The way they're playing is boring, it's negative, it's turgid. But it's symptomatic of the fucking Premier League and football in this country in general. It's boring, it's negative. It's just it's plastic, boring, crap, fake.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean? All of it. All right. Do you know what I mean? If you took a video of every Premier League game this upcoming weekend and watched them one after the other, right, you wouldn't be able to notice the difference between any of them except for the goals that were scored. Because the styles of play would be exactly the same. The tactics would be exactly the same. Back in the day when I was going to football on a regular, every week you went to a game, the tactics were different. The teams that you were playing in. One week you'd be playing against a team who had 4-4-2. Another week it would be 4-2-4. Another week it would be 4-5-1. Another week it was 3-4-3. Not now. They all play 4-2-3-1. They all play this fucking like playing out from the back,
Yeah,
which
back, yeah.
out of 10 is a fucking recipe for disaster.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? No, mate, it's fucking bullshit. And like, you know, they're not even playing on the front foot nine times out of 10. They don't want to take on players. Like, they don't like fucking attack teams properly. It's just bullshit.
Where's the risk anymore? The gambling of what to do? You know, they're just too safe now. It's too safe and negative, and I don't make a mistake. You know,
you look at the wingers, right? How many times do you see a winger taking on a defender and trying to beat him and whipping across?
Not enough now. They turn back, don't they? And they pass backwards to somebody else.
They just they get so far, and then they come back, gets recycled, and then it's fucking nonsense, Steve.
It's like when you had, like, say for England, you had Madueke and whatever. He turns back. Instead of going past, trying to take them on and go past them, he was turning back and passing.
It's all about
that's what you're not there to do. You're there to take them on and get the crosses in.
They all want to have 80-90% possession. But playing 80-90% possession doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to win the game. Loads of teams are getting turned over who have 70, 80, 90% possession because when the opposition get the ball, they do stuff with it. They will go and score.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And like, they're efficient with their possession. These fuckers, they're not. They're not, Steve. It's bollocks.
I know. It's like, I think you mentioned the other day, Warren, that they can defend. They know how to play against England now, this opposition. You just defend. Because they won't go through you. They won't play through you. They keep playing backwards, sideways, whatever. They won't try and get out to the wingers and get crosses in.
All that's going to happen tonight is that England are going to play with like a low block. Serbia will do the same. It's going to be a fucking snore fest. Like, it will, mate. It'll be like fucking watching Italy in the 70s. Like, where they used to just fucking defend all the time.
Yeah. They were masters at it, weren't they, Italy?
Well, yeah, they were. They were fucking brilliant at it. Do you know what I mean? But this lot, no, mate. I'm not even going to watch it, mate. I'm going to find something else to do. A lot less boring.
I'll probably watch some of it. If it is shit again, I ain't going to fucking watch the rest of it. That'd be it.
I just can't bear watching it, Steve. It's too boring for me. There's no jeopardy in it. There's no, like, no, it's not for me, mate. It's until people start voting with their feet, it's not going to change. What it needs is like, fucking next time they have a game at Wembley for there to be like 10,000 people inside the stadium. But I don't think they'd really care because of the revenue they get from the TV.
That's true.
Right.
It's in a shit way now.
I'm fucking really fearful about the future of the game because at some point it's just all going to collapse in on itself. You know, because Sky will turn around and say, well, why are we paying all this money to screen games where there's only a handful of people inside the stadium? You know, there's no atmosphere, no nothing.
Exactly.
And when the money goes out the game, mate, then like, we'll really see how good the football is, because my suspicion is that the foreign players are like propping up this league. A lot of them, and the managers, they're all trying to like play the same way as Pep.
Yeah,
they ain't got the players to play like Pep.
No, it's true.
Where it falls apart.
No, there's 2-0 Armenia now, by the way. 2-0 Armenia against Republic of Ireland.
That boy's going to go fucking ballistic.
Yeah.
And rightly so. That's fucking shocking.
Oh dear. Poor Republic of Ireland. But
Anyway, mate, look, I'm going to have to go, buddy, unfortunately.
Well, I am and all, because this has been over 2 fucking hours now again. It's 2 hours, 30 odd minutes, you know. I've gone on fucking ages again, mate. I wasn't going to do it till this long, I tell you. I was.
Sorry, mate, it's my fault.
That's fine, no, don't worry about it. It's not your fault. It's not your fault at all. And some of the other people, I could say, well, they carried on a bit, didn't they? So one in particular, we could say, but and spoke a load of balls, basically. As far as I'm concerned.
Going on and on about fucking cricket, I don't understand what that was all about.
Yeah, nothing to do with it. Fuck all to do with it. But you know, I just zoned out in the end. I didn't listen to it anymore. Just fed up with it. But
well, you stopped him really well and just said, like, stop it. This is a football stream.
Yeah, well, it's you put that in the comments. I thought,
because I knew that it would just go on and on and on. Like, if no one like fucking stepped in, it would have gone on for about 20 minutes, half an hour, just talking about cricket.
Yeah, we can save that for another cricket stream like tomorrow or something when I might be doing the T20 or whatever. I was still thinking of doing that. So I might only do one innings though. I might just do the one. I won't do the whole T20.
Watch along, you mean?
Yeah, watch along. Yeah.
Well, maybe just do the run chase.
Yeah, I might do. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because like it'll, 20 overs gets over really quick, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's great. It's exciting, isn't it? T20.
Yeah. So like watching the bit where the run chase is happening. Like not the first innings, but the second innings when the run chase is happening, that might be a good way.
Yeah, I might do. Yeah, I know. You said about if you might come on. I don't know if you will be able to, Warren. But if I do want run chase, but
it depends when it is, mate. That's the problem.
Well, it starts about 6:30 tomorrow, so in the evening. So 6:30 in the evening. And so it goes on till about 9, I think, around 9, 9:30, something like that. It might be a bit.
I'll be able to manage that, mate, to be honest. But I'll see what I can sort out, mate. I'll have to let you know.
Yeah,
if that's all right.
Yeah, I might still do it anyway. I'll probably still do it, but it'd be good to have somebody else to talk.
Yeah, I know, because I think it'll be fun. It'll be something different. I don't even know how many other people do watch-alongs for cricket.
Oh, there are a few. There are some that have done it. I mean, we used to do it when the World Cup was on, when they had the World Cup and stuff of it, and whatever else. So yeah, but might have to do that. But I'll let you know anyway. What time I'll be doing it, and if I do, well, it'll probably be the run chase, as you say. Hopefully, it'll be England doing it, and we'll win it again. But I don't know.
I wouldn't bank on it, mate. Not with these fucking clowns running it.
Yeah. Hopefully, eventually they might go, and we get somebody better in, like Vaughan and Peterson and whatever. Yeah, we can but hope, can't we? And
no, but I'm not hopeful, mate. I just think it's like turkeys voting for Christmas. Why would they give up that position that they've got? Do you know what I mean? I just don't see it, mate.
No, it's going to go on and on and on and fucking forever. But but let's hope they win. I hope they do win.
What it needs is for someone really high up, like the Minister of Sport, to come in and just go, "What the fuck's going on here?"
And I was going to say Ministry of Silly Walks for a minute or something. I was just going to say Ministry of Silly Walks then for a minute or so.
No, but it does, Steve. Because what I'm after is like the fucking real top dog to get the boot. Do you know what I mean? And the only way that will happen is for the Minister of Sport to step in and say, this is completely unacceptable. And wherever it is that they get their money from, because I can't imagine it's simply through gate receipts. Because if it was, they wouldn't be able to pay for a fucking Cornish pasty, would they? Let's be honest.
No.
You know what I mean? So there must
no.
be getting corporate sponsorship from somewhere. Either the only way it will happen is for the corporates to start kicking off, but they're not likely to do that because of all the perks they get.
Yeah.
Or that the government steps in and say, you lot need to fucking sort yourselves out. I thought it might happen when all that racism stuff like hit the fan with the cricket and whatnot, but that seems to have just fucking gone off.
It's been forgotten about almost again.
Yeah.
But
still, never mind. Maybe one day, Steve?
Yeah, one day we can but live in hope. Why not? Will it be in our lifetime though? I'm not so sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, we could be gone by then, Warren, by the time it happens. Follow me on Insta, Mr. B for Life at 182, and subscribe to Mr. B Hive Football Chat. Mr. B Chats England Cricket. I'll say will be hopefully cricket one tomorrow. Hopefully I'll do one. And if not, it'll be a reaction to it anyway at some stage. And got the Chelsea preview on Friday coming up. And probably reaction to the whatever fucking England do tonight, whatever shit they play as well. And with Tommy Tickle, get that idiot out, German bloody Wally. But yeah, so anyway, guys, but what's before we go, do you want to shout out socials there, Warren? What you got?
Yeah, my name's Warren, and you can find me on Warren's Team Talk YouTube channel. You can also find me Warren's Team Talk on X, Threads, Instagram, and X, and that's about it, Steve. Thanks very much, mate, for letting me come on. Make sure you follow Steve on his cricket channel, Mr. B Chats England Cricket, and also on his Brentford Football Club channel, Mr. B, the Hive Football Chat, which is what we're on at the minute.
Yeah. Or sometimes other talk as well. But yeah, mate, anyway.
Coming. I'm going to have to go, buddy.
No worries, mate. You take care, man. And
cheers, mate. Bye.
Cheers, Warren. Take care, mate. Thanks. Cheers. And yeah, so I'm off as well. I'm going to bounce, guys. It's been a great stream, but it's gone over 2 hours, so I really have got to go. And great having people on, Eugene and Manny and Warren. Thanks to them all coming on, people in the live chat, and you know, people watching it live or on playback. Thank you. Please keep smashing the like, subbing if you're new. I really want those subs to get. I need 200. Come on, guys, get me up to 200. Still on 172. Thanks to Flair and everyone in the live chat, Luca, Manny, Warren, of course, and Kev, of course, Kev Flavin. He was in there. Thanks to you, buddy. And we're nearly away from the international play football, thankfully. Back to the Premier on Saturday. But see how England get on tonight. Probably draw or win, boring, shit, play football. But anyway, guys, there'll be a reaction to it. And obviously the cricket one tomorrow and others, of course. So plenty more content. Anyway, guys, I'm going to bounce. For the time being, I'm out of here. Cheers, everyone. Thanks. Bye. Bye.